Boom, there you go. The record button is happening. And again, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, Moose, aka Big House, I'm your host. I tell you what, the lady that you can see run EMC, she's a lady in the house. We call her Run. EMC.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm so excited to be here. And look, I straighten my hair for you guys. Those of you who watch the show often know that it's always in a bun. So who am I today?
Good
Sassy.
job.
I can put my hair when I get fired up today.
Good job. I'm glad you took a shower. Hey, I tell you what, man. Hey, it's Moose, Big House. We up in here. I tell you what. I'm going to go about some of the faces that you might see that you recognize. We're going to have a few words from Kwame Shakur tonight. He is the Minister of Culture with the new African Black Panther Party. I'm doing so good. I remember that. I'm so happy about myself. And so anyway, he's going to have some words from him. And then we have some some pretty powerful women visiting us tonight from the Stolen Lives. I just said Stolen Lives, but I just call it the Stolen Lives movement. And what it is that we have aunts, uncles, aunts, mothers, grandmothers of men that have been killed from police brutality. I'm gonna let Kwame introduce all of them because he can do it way better than me. But man, I'm so excited about some of the names that we have here. And then today's show on Heavy Hitters is the Father's Day show. Yeah, Father's Day, man, was Sunday. So we have lots of fathers from all over the place that are joining us tonight. Some of them I recognize. Mr. Moment's in here. Robert's here. He's a dad. Corey's here. Ruben's a dad, Jeff's a dad, and Ramon's here, so Colorado. So we have lots and lots of dads. I'm a dad too, right? I have 3 sons. I'm a father of 3 black men that are roaming around in Atlanta, Georgia, and Indianapolis, Indiana. So, man, we're up in here. We're gonna have a talk about all of that. You guys ready? You can just shake your heads because you're all muted. All right. So, hey, besides Heavy Hitters Radio Show, we also have different segments we're gonna do. So we have a spontaneous game show tonight that is something brand new that I just thought of today. So it's going to be cool because nobody will really know. But you guys will all get a chance to play. We do brews and reviews. Run. Could you explain to us what brews and reviews is all about?
Yes. So brews and reviews is the Heavy Hitters rating system. So you can pretty much brew and review anything you want. The more brews it takes you, the worse that it is. So if it's like 1 or 2 brews, pretty decent. 7, horrible.
Outstanding. You know what? I tell you what. So then we may do a Mount Rushmore too at some point. All right. So guys, listen up. Some topics will be hot. Some topics will be serious, and sometimes we will use a little bit of levity. We all get along here. With our listenership is vast over color, over race, over religion, over belief structure. We run the gambit. So we're going to be respectful. Say what's on your mind. Don't hold back. Say what's on your mind, but just be respectful of the next guy because I guarantee you his thoughts going to be different than yours. I guarantee you her thoughts going to be different than yours. And that's okay. We're going to respect it and we're going to move on and we're going to be a vehicle of information that possibly create some change. You guys ready for a great show? I am. By the way, guys, a Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Guys, some people are going to call me Chris because that's my government name, and they don't understand that on the show on Moose. That's all right. Today's my coming out party. Hi, guys. I'm Chris.
Welcome.
Say, matter of fact, if you hear this later on, I want you to say hi. Like so, if I say, "How you doing?" I'm Moose, aka Big House. I want everybody to say, "Hi, Moose." All right, so that's just a precursor to something later. All right, Kwame, welcome to the show. You are in Atlanta, Georgia. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, and you are. Somebody's got to mute yourself there. Somebody, please. Thank you, Ron. All right, hey, and you are the Minister of Culture for the new African Black Panther Party. And you've invited some folks that I think have a message and that can definitely add to our conversation this evening. So you talk about your your platform, and then introduce the folks that joined us. And I see Miss Washington. Hi, Miss Washington. Glad you're here.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see. Good to meet you.
You as well.
All right, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So yeah, I'm the minister of culture of the New African Black Panther Party. Just a little bit about us. We just stand in the same legacy of the original Black Panther Party. Just 2 Sundays ago, they recognized us again out in Harlem. The original Black Panther Party and the Young Lords basically passing on the torch to us, because we the only ones that really is pushing the same political line that the original Black Panther Party pushed back in the 60s. We represent that same legacy today. Uh, uh, the individuals that I invited on today, Vita Washington Abu Sali is the auntie of Alton Sterling. Everybody remember when Alton Sterling was killed by the police down in Baton Rouge back in 2016. He was murdered by the police it was July 5th. It's coming up in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I'll be down there with Vita. We're going to be shutting down the streets down there. You know, she's actually the sister that brought me in this movement. She believed that my voice should be out there and should be heard. This is even before I became a member of the New African Black Panther Party. Also invited my sister on here, Lisa Simpson. Her son was killed by the police out in LA. July 25th, 2016. So these was like back-to-back situations that happened to both of my sisters that's on here. Alice might be on here. I think she got kicked off for a little bit because of maybe her internet. But if she jumps back on here, Alice Howe is the grandmother of Justice Howe, who was killed by the Zion police April 4th, 2015. We're all a part of the Stolen Lives movement. Basically, it's all the families that's been murdered by the police coming together, speaking for themselves. A lot of activists came in this movement and try to co-opt this movement and pretty much undermine all these family members' voice and their cause and stuff. So it's gonna be a lot going on this summer. Black Lives Matter. You're gonna hear might surprise a lot of people on here that none of us support Black Lives Matter. That's why we call ourselves the Stolen Lives Movement, because the Black Lives Matter came in here and played some of these family members that's on here right now. You know, they was co-opting the movement to drive the movement back into the in line with the system. The same system that they was out here supposed to be struggling against. They was pretty much working with the system to undermine these family members. So this probably surprised a lot of people that we don't support Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? We don't support Al Sharpton. We don't support Benjamin Crump. We don't support Melina Abdullah. We don't support Jesse Jackson. We don't support none of these people that try to come in this movement and undermine these families, take their money, never did nothing for them, and now they want to be out here and act like they celebrities and stuff are speaking for these families, and they never stood for these families for real. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a very controversial subject when we get to the Stolen Lives movement, because we're going to keep it raw and uncut amongst all of us.
All right, you know what? And I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate your candor. You know, here's the thing is, folks, if we don't all pull it together and be able to talk, then nothing will ever change, right? We'll stay splintered. So that's why everybody's here. I'm gonna continue to do that. The heavy hitters are going to continue to do that. Hey, by the way, real quick, man, we got DJ Longgreen. He's in the house. He's one of the heavy hitters too. So he's in the LA hat. He's just saying what's up. All right. I tell you what, Miss Washington.
Yes.
Man, tell us a little bit about your story and you know, kind of explain to us why you're here today.
Well, I'm the auntie of Alton Sterling, who was murdered July the 5th, 2016 by some racist police officers in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I will fight until there's no more breath left in this body. I have to continue to fight. Alton's mother died when Alton was young, so I have to keep the fight going until I get some justice. I will never stop. Alton didn't deserve what they did to him. Nobody deserved what they did to Alton. I've never seen the videos, but I heard it. I think it was Saturday, Kwame. I heard it on the TV because every now and then somebody will play it on the TV on one of the news stations. I heard it and I lost my mind because I could hear him surrendering, saying what I did, what I did, and that fucked me up all the way. So like I'm 10 toes down. I had to lock myself in my house. I had to lock up, to keep myself and to mind myself, because right now my mind is going like somebody got to stop these motherfuckers from killing our children.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody's going to have to stop them, because right now they're still looking. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If I post something stating I'm going to do a protest or anything, the chief of police will go on the news right after I post and say something like, well, the Baton Rouge need to be together on one accord. Baton Rouge is scared. I'm not. I will not stand down. I will not. So, I feel sorry for the people here in Louisiana, because they live in fear every day of something when they can simply stand up and take charge of your own life. They won't do that. They will not. And it's really sad.
Yes, ma'am. I tell you what, did any other heavy hitters have any questions for Ms. Washington real quick? And if not, I just want to say, Ms. Washington, man, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad that you are not letting it go away. I mean, now here's the thing: we're going to have some police officers on here at some point. I'm sure that'll join us. That can speak to that. But Kwame sent me a YouTube video today of a young man that I didn't even know anything about. It was Jamarion Robinson, I believe. Yeah. And holy cow! So he was gunned down in his apartment when the policemen were making a search, right? A felony search. And he was shot 56 times. They unloaded 79 bullets into the house, and he was hit 56 times.
76.
Yeah. Well, he was hit 76 times. I thought I read 56, and so they said, hey, the police are here. Start shooting. Then shot a flashbang. Then went in, and then when he's already riddled with bullets, they handcuff him, drag him down the stairs, and put him in the living room to essentially let him die. Even though, how could he live through 76 shots already into his body?
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. I'm not gonna say all police officers are bad. I just don't know none that's good. And they have an opportunity. They have every opportunity to come and talk to me. I'm right here, from state to state to state. I'm right here. Say what you got to say. It took Floyd to get murdered for them to want to take a knee. And I take that lightly. I think they're taking a knee because that white boy took a knee on Floyd's neck. You can't get me like that. So now everybody, all the police officers want to take a knee. No, you can't get me like that. This didn't just start happening. This been going on for centuries. And now all of a sudden you want to say something? When I begged our police officers in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, open your mouth up. You saw what they did after, and you're not going to do nothing? I can't go against my brotherhood. Well, now I'm saying I can't go against my brotherhood. My brotherhood trump yours. And that's just the way it is. And I'm going to stand with mine.
Yes, ma'am. And you know what? We all, and here's the thing is, when they're wrong like that, we all stand with you, for sure. We all stand with you. I'm going to come back to you here in a second. Miss Wilson, is Lisa Wilson, is that correct?
Lisa Simpson.
Simpson, I'm sorry. Lisa Simpson, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us your story. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. You know what? Guess what? I found something out, guys. I can do it from my side. Uh-oh. Wait, can I unmute her? I thought I could. Look, I was showing off, and then it was like, wah, wah, wah. You want to unmute yourself, sweetheart, from your side? I'm trying to, but it's not working for some reason.
Moose, I think you can only
Oh,
unmute.
there she is.
Here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Lisa Simpson. I'm the mother of Richard Risher. that was shot and killed by LAPD July 25th, 2016. They shot 70 shots at my son for running. They didn't have no reason to chase my son in the first place. The officer that killed my son never chased my son a half a step. The ironic thing about my son's case and Alton Sterling case, I was at work. I worked for the government, so I seen Alton Sterling get killed because all we watch is CNN. So a day later, I see Fidel Castile get killed. So my coworkers asked me, what would I do? Because I was a manager. What would I do if something like this had happened to me? And 19 days after Fidel Castile got killed, my son got killed.
Man, so all right, guys, check this out. Like, so Moose, I can hold it together pretty well, but holy cow, if I lose it a little bit, don't hold it against me because we are videoing it. All right. Lisa. So your son was fleeing, and they gunned him down. And what? I mean, especially if you work for the government, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you do differently? Like, how have you found the strength to go forward?
Well, once they killed my kid, that gave me the strength right there because I felt like when they killed my kid, they killed me. You feel me? They tried to put the false narrative out there that my son shot a cop. No cop ever got shot. That was just something that they wanted to make up. It was actually 7 cops on the death of my son. They only trying to talk about 3. The state, they closed my case out January 28th, 2020 with prejudice. I've never filed on the state level. I filed on a federal level. I've never met the judge, Michael Fitzpatrick. So, like, they planted a gun. So they said my son's case is like the Rampart scandal. You feel me? But they trying to fuck me the whole way in the case so I can't do criminal. You feel me? But they can't stop me because I'm going all the way. I'm going to the Supreme Court. When my son that got killed, Black Lives Matter, I did an interview August 19th, August 31st. I think it was like 19 days previous to me burying my kid with the Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein. And Black Lives Matter, they asked to reciprocate benefits for a funeral, and I never received them. They kicked me out the encampment that they had for 45 days at the mayor office in Los Angeles, and then trying to blackball me everywhere. But I'm only the strong survive, and I'm a trooper for my 18-year-old. You feel me? Because I don't have a police report, an autopsy report. I got a death certificate that said my son was 28. My son was only 18. When it says who my son was killed by, it don't say LAPD, it say killed by another person. It's just the disrespect is real. In California, they the payout capital. They just want to pay everybody. They don't want to prosecute nobody. I'm not part of reform. I'm not part of transparency. I'm not part of none of that shit. What I am a part of is ceasefire on the Black and brown man. I'm with that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we got some dads on here now, and I'm gonna post a question to. I tell you what, if you want to give me the peace sign, I can call on you. But what are your thoughts on Miss Washington and Lisa? How come I can't get Lisa's name? I can't get her name. I was gonna call Lisa.
You gotta remember OJ
Simpson. That's right. So Miss Washington and Miss Simpson are here, and they've told their amazing stories, by the way, with conviction, and we're fighting. So I got some of these dads on here, or if you want me to call you out, I can. I tell you, give me a head shake if you want me to just call you out. If everybody's cool with that, if you're not, I won't call you out. Okay. Well, I didn't get much of a head shake. I tell you what, Ruben, I'm opening up to you, and then Monsky, I'm gonna go to you just because I know you might have something to say. All right, Ruben, go ahead, man. What do you think so far?
I tell you, this is extremely interesting to me because me and my buddy Kenyon, we go round and round because we have a lot of the same thoughts and beliefs, but there's some things we differ on, but it's not, I think I'm really shocked that BLM is not. I don't know. I'm not a BLM supporter. I call myself a constitutionalist. I don't see myself as a Democrat or a Republican. I'm going to vote for who's going to stand up for the people and the Constitution. And it's like I told Kenyon early on, right after Floyd happened, and there's so much division going on in the country. I've always said it's not me against you, it's us against them, because if they can keep us divided, then they've got us whipped. If they conquer us in our own house, they've got us whipped. And I think it's horrible. It's like I think Miss Washington said, she's not against all police, but she's never met a good one. And I tell you, now day and age, it's more and more like that. I have a lot of respect for the good cops. If there's got to be some good cops out there, but I tell you, you see it more and more on the news. Maybe I'm just too much of a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know. I hate what's going on in our country right now, because I feel like it's an election year, and all this that's going on is just to keep us divided, so their agenda, whatever their agenda is, can be pushed through. And I have love for everybody. If somebody does me right, I don't care what color you are, what religion you are, what your sexual preference is. It don't matter to me. If you're good to me, I'm good to you. I get along with anybody. I don't care. So, I mean, it's just where I stand, and I have mad respect for every last one of you and for what you stand for. And it's like I tell some of my friends, we might not see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean I can't be your friend. It's a difference of it's everybody's opinions, and what makes the world go round. None of us is all going to see eye to eye. It'd be boring in my eyes. So if we can all, come together and just link arms and be together for one purpose and one cause, and I think we'd make huge strides in making some good history.
All right, Ruben, I like that. Although I'm a little bit scared of COVID, so I'm not linking arms with a whole lot of people right now. Like my bubble's kind of short. I hugged Kwame last time I saw him. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I really don't mess with a whole lot of people, man. So, hey, Kwame, you had your hand up real quick. Go ahead, man. And then Miss Washington after that.
Okay. At the end of the day, I'm a revolutionary. And I'm one of the most rawest, uncut, unapologetic, blunt revolutionaries you're going to come across. For us, we don't see, we don't look at it good cop, bad cop type of stuff. You know what I mean? Only good cop to us is one that put down that badge and be out here boots on the ground with the people and stand up against the system. Because at the end of the day, we don't look at that type of paradigm. We look at this system of capitalism and imperialism that is upheld by white supremacy that's been going on for 400 years. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So the good cop, bad cop thing that's been pushed around all these years and stuff, to me, that's like some petty bourgeoisie, middle class, 1% thing to throw out here for some PR relationships to co-opt the movement back into the system. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like this. What does it mean if we look at the history of the police and stuff? It started off with the slave patrols. You know what I'm saying? And then evolved into police patrols. So I would ask somebody, what does it mean to be a good slave patroller versus a bad slave patroller? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it really means. Because right now, we in a modern day form of slavery. Last week, I think when I was on here, I was talking to a comrade of mine that was working at a job, and he told me that his boss told him he made $500,000 for the company. I asked him, how much does he make an hour? He makes $13 an hour. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he made $20 an hour. I don't care if he made $50 an hour. I don't care if he made $500 an hour. All he is a modern day slave that's happy that he's getting $500 an hour. Because all the wealth he produced went to that slave master, the modern day slave master. So the problem is, ain't no good cop, bad cop thing with us. We look at it as this system. This system that oppresses not people just in America, but worldwide. This is the same system that goes over and right over there in Libya and overthrow Gaddafi. Now we got modern day black slaves over there being bought and sold. And who's talking about any of that? Or we'll go look how the United States go down in Yemen and kill innocent kids and people and women and stuff like that, and nobody talks about that. You know, so at the end of the day, it's this system that is the problem, and the police is just a reflection of how this system works. Period.
All right, so I got a question. Ms. Washington, I know you wanted to comment. You wanted to make a comment. Go ahead and make a comment, then I have a question for you, Kwame.
Okay, I wanna let him, what was his name again?
The young man that spoke after me was Ruben.
Ruben. Ruben, that's the way we feel being as Blacks every day, that we can't go out like you can go out, and you won't have to be suppressed behind the color of your skin. We go out, and I'm telling you, I don't leave my house now unless I'm armed. I will not, and I don't like guns. I hate guns, because that's why we're all in the same shit behind these guns and these trigger happy ass cops. I hate guns. I will not leave my house right now unless I'm armed. And that's bad that we have to live like that, you know, as a people of color. We have to do that to protect ourselves and to protect our family. Because I tell you, I can't allow them to take another family member. Not on my watch. Now, if they take me down, it's not on my watch anymore. But as far as my watch, I can't allow it to happen again.
Hey, well spoke. So Kwame, I got, you know, I've had this question, and I put it to the whole panel. Kwame, I guess I want you to tackle it first, and then if anybody has any thoughts about it, that'd be amazing. But you know, I hear a lot about defund the police and you know, get rid of them, that kind of thing. We know we're against them, but what do we do in replace of them? I mean, like, so I envision this. I envision these licensed gun owners protecting their area, so their neighborhood or their, you know, their land, and maybe their neighbors, you know, who you can see, that kind of thing. But that, you know, that's just my for lack of a better word, goofy thought. So if we got rid of the law enforcement, the police officers, that kind of thing, how do we stop the criminals? Because the criminals don't care nothing about law enforcement anyway. So if we got rid of them, how do we stop them, Kwame?
Okay, that's a complex question you just asked, but I would start with this: defund the police. I'm with that, but a bigger issue, I look at this: to stop Alton Sterling's from getting killed, stop you know, Richard Richards from getting killed, stop Jamarion Robinson's from being killed, and all the stolen lives families. I feel like this country needs to disarm the police, like England, like Scandinavia, like Iceland. That the police over there don't walk around with lethal weapons. You dig what I'm saying? But they're still able to maintain their system, their class. And at the end of the day, they still a capitalist class over there in power, oppressing those people over there. So if they can do it without lethal weapons with the street cops on the ground, then they can do that over here in the United States, and that'll exponentially stop a lot of these killings of our brothers and sisters out here on the streets. So that's the first thing. Now, as far as the streets and what goes on, the violence and community violence you alluded to, I first say this, and I said this last week. The problem is this. What's the main problem? Is it Frankenstein or is it the doctor? Frankenstein is going to be who he is because you know, the conditions in this country created the conditions where violence and drugs, like we already know the war on drugs. You dig what I'm saying? Story of how this government with Freeway, Ricky Ross, and all this stuff flooded these communities with drugs. I was in prison. The drugs didn't come in here from the prisoners. It came in through the COs. You dig what I'm saying? So we acting like we don't know what's going on in this country. All these guns and drugs, they're going to the right people that this system wants to carry out this genocide on our people. And it's being carried out multiple ways. The police killing us, over 1,000 of us now a year. You know what I'm saying? They're also the human trafficking, organ trafficking is a form of genocide, mass incarceration, them giving guns and drugs to people in our community that wants to be illegitimate capitalists. You know what I'm saying? This is a design. You know what I'm saying? This ain't something that just came about by coincidence that black people just gravitate towards guns and drugs and stuff like that. When you killed all of our leaders off in the 60s, when you locked the rest of them up, and like Mutulu Shakur, Sundiata, Kole, We got Asada Shakur living over in Cuba right now. You took all of our real leadership out of our community. What do you have now? You have the people that rose to ranks in our society that only wanted to live the quote unquote American dream, which has only been a nightmare against our people. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put it in a perspective. I don't blame these brothers out here for why they chose the life that they chose, because I did the same thing, because I didn't have nobody like a Fred Hampton, a Huey P. Newton, a Malcolm X in my community to stop me from taking that path, because they killed all of our leaders. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we're doing today in the New African Black Panther Party. We're rising up a new leadership, you know what I'm saying, that's going to replace and actually be out here talking to these brothers in the streets. Like, I work with the gangs. I work with the, individuals as vice lords, GDs. You dig what I'm saying? Hopefully when I get down to Florida, I'm going to be working with the street organizations down here and take these brothers away from the streets and show them that you can't be a pawn of this system. That's what they want you to do. You dig what I'm saying? And if they stop, and one last thing, I would say this, to stop the violence in there, we're going to be building community patrols, just like the original Black Panther Party, where the Panthers, we're going to start going around in our own community, protecting our community from police that's coming in there, but also the human traffickers and the organ traffickers. We not going to allow them in our community. You dig what I'm saying? Killing our people no more, snatching up our women and children no more, period.
So I get that. Like, I totally get that. Hey, some of the new folks, man, go ahead and mute yourself. Hey, Miss Simpson, you had a thought real quick. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on what you said about black on black crime, basically. And it's like, I don't see that, because every time the police kill us, that's the first thing our people say. Oh, we got to stop black on black crime. But a lot of these police is doing these crimes in our neighborhoods and blaming the next black person for it. Just like we quarantine. I told everybody's like, what is this quarantine? I said, we quarantine, but we're still dying under quarantine. So if we in the house, where does black on black crime at? Because I'm looking at the news and it's police killing us every day. When George Floyd got killed, 15 people died after George Floyd. Is this shit ever gonna stop, or do we have to start busting back?
You know what, guys? I can tell the everybody listening here. So I was recently looking at some old newspapers that were at my grandma's house, and there was a picture of my sister with Maya Angelou, and it was I don't know, it might have been about 84 or something like that. I think it was. And so I thumbed through the rest of the paper. I saw my sister's picture there with Maya Angelou, and they looked like they was, chopping it up. And then I thumbed through the rest of the paper, and in one of the articles here, we do this show from Indianapolis, Indiana. We got people from all over, but our base is in Indianapolis, Indiana. And in that newspaper that I was looking at, it said, police brutality. Is it a thing? And then it started listing all the stuff that happened from like 79 to like 84 when that paper was published. And there was all these police action shootings. Now, I will say the police action shootings were mixed race and age and all that kind of stuff. It was just all the police action shootings. But it resonated with me that this hasn't gone away. This hasn't changed. Emmett Till was the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
This hasn't changed. If you want to go back, to was it 1460s, whatever, slavery, it has not changed. Okay. And so some of you dads out there, I'm gonna put it to you, man. So how do we, right at this point, how do we make some sort of change if we know that for 400 years, or even, let's go back to Emmett Till, let's go back to just 100 years, it hasn't changed. By the way, does anybody know how the Boston Tea Party started? Anybody know who got shot that day? Chris beside us.
Is it possible I can talk for a second?
Go right ahead. I'd like to see your face. Hey guys, this is Antoine Kennedy. What's happening?
How you doing, brother?
Good, welcome.
I'm gonna say this to Kwame. I know you from I'm gonna say all is well. You say you're Chicago. You're Black Panther upcoming. So when I say all is well, you know what that means, right? Okay, so what we're dealing with right now is what we've been looking for. I mean, races are acknowledging who they are and they showing themselves. That's all we wanted. So now we know who they are. So now they acknowledging they showing. I think within our culture and our family, within all of us in our area, we're not worried anymore. And I'll leave it there.
You said we're not worrying anymore?
No, we're not. The whole thing was set in Kwame know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys talking some more Black Panther underhanded stuff.
They're talking in code on you.
We're talking some code, man. Like I'm bringing y'all together, man. Like
I want to say something.
At least text me and let me in. Who's that? Who's talking right now?
This is Vita.
Okay.
I want to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I'm getting ready to go and bury my nephew tomorrow, and it's Black on Black crime. So Black on Black crime do exist, and we have to address that because it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. But the two don't go together. The police killing us and the Black on Black crime is separate. It's not the same thing. It's different. Even though murder is still murder, but it's different. You know, the police swore to serve and protect us, and yet they killing us. Huh? So it's a big difference in that. I'm getting ready to bury my nephew tomorrow morning behind some Black on Black crime. Jealous of his car. It has to be addressed. But at the same time, it don't go with the conversation of police killing people of color, Black, brown, Asian. It don't belong in that conversation.
Hey, I want to say real quick, and Ron, you go next. I want to say, folks, you guys know, that Black on Black crime is a narrative, right? Because people kill people that they're close to. So there's a lot of neighborhoods I know. I live in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and so when cats die around here, it's probably from the hand of another Black man. That's just kind of the way it goes because there's most of us living around here together.
Right.
But if you out somewhere else, out in the burbs somewhere, then it's probably at the hands of whatever color they are. But you know what? But see, we don't have that narrative because we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that pilgrims are killing pilgrims. Heck no, we don't want to hear that. We want to make sure that they know. And by the way, heavy hitters, we use the word pilgrims just because, I don't know, years ago we decided not to say white folks and we say pilgrims. So that's kind of how we do it. All right, Run, and then Kwame, and then we're going to move on. And we got Miss Kim Smith here, and I believe that was a name, Kwame, that you talked about earlier, so we want to introduce her and let her talk. Go ahead, Ron.
I just want to circle back to a couple things and then we'll move forward. Moose, you asked about defunding the police and you said something about does that mean that the carriers of the neighborhoods are going to be policing our own neighborhoods? And I just want to be very clear that defund the police is not the same as abolish the police. It means taking the police funding and reallocating some of those funds to be more proactive. So those would go into bins like education and mental health counseling and rehabilitation services, affordable housing, so that we can be proactive in a lot of those calls that the police are already getting. But another big part of that is police training. So defund the police does not mean abolish the police. Also, I would just like to piggyback off of your narrative of Black on Black crime. That is the only race that we use to describe crimes against someone of their own race. And so that is a definite white supremacy narrative that needs to be, I think the language around it needs to change to start. But you are very right that it is proximity. It is not about race. It's about who you're near. And to answer your question, Crispus Attucks was the first person killed for the American Revolution, and he is Black.
Look, you just had to say something. Nobody, I just left it alone.
I wanted to answer that question. History's my favorite.
I'm not mad
Down
at
the
you.
street from my house.
I'm not mad at you.
Thank
And we
you.
got we got Christmas addicts right down the street.
Right.
Hey, so all right, guys. Man, holy cow! All right, Kwame. Like I said, she moved around. We have Miss Kim Smith. I believe that is someone else that you invited, and I appreciate that. No. Oh no, she was on the call. Never mind. You know what? I'm all caught up now. That on Saturday she was like, like today she's like chilling out. So I got it. I'm all caught up now. Thank you, Kim, for joining us today. All right, Kwame, what you got for me? And listen, now I'm going to have to do it like, you know how they do it in church? You're going to have to go to just about a minute and a half. We got so many people here that we're going to speak today. All right, Kwame, go ahead, man.
I'm glad you said that because I forgot what I was going to say before, so it would have made it 3 minutes. But I'm down to 1 minute now. I want to say this, too. Because I was talking about, someone was talking about the violence on the streets and stuff like this. Real case in point, real history. Benny Lee, he was a former chief of the vice lords. He's a professor now at Northeastern University, a adjunct professor. I learned a lot from him as far as like, just let me show you this history. When the vice lords, the conservative vice lords, for example, they were cleaning up their community. Martin Luther King lived over in Lawndale. You know what I'm saying? They weren't gang banging. They weren't killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Gore was the national spokesman at the time, and he did a lot for that community. But you know what happened when what's his name? Richard Daley, the mayor, called the war on gangs and stuff. He lumped everybody together. He lumped the Black Panthers. He lumped the Young Lords. He lumped the conservative vice lords. He lumped all these organizations that was actually doing something for our community. Bobby Gore went to prison for 11 years for something he ain't do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a vice lord. But he was doing something for his community. You can look on the History Channel and find out that history. How many people know about that? A lot of people talk about these street organizations, and they ask me why I be out here embracing the brothers in the streets, because I know their history and this government and how they've been demonized. A lot of people don't understand their history when they was actually doing something for our community and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But and one other example, like Leonard Singali, he was a Black Peace Stone. You know what I'm saying? They locked him up. At least he beat the case and stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is every time any Black leadership arrives in the Black community, they always try to undermine the people that's actually building up our community, doing positive things for our community. So the question shouldn't be on black violence. Oh, I remember this, and I'm about 30 more seconds.
Yeah,
like you said, black on black violence is a myth, because like you said, if you look at any ethnicity, white on white violence is just as high as black on black violence, Latino violence on Latino violence. It's just used against us because they want to make us seem like we're somehow abnormally dysfunctional than every other ethnicity.
Yeah, no, Kwame. There's no question that we understand that narrative is being pushed through. I just think that I don't know. I feel like this in a lot of conversations I've had in the last little bit. It's a situation where if you watched a rally the other night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? And it's your guys' president. He's not my president. Well, he is. I'm an American citizen, so I guess he's my president too. But he's not my president necessarily, and I'm not afraid to say that. Especially now we got Kwame on here. Probably the FBI's watching us. But anyway, so we got a situation where in his speech he says, "Hey guys, I put 300 judges in place. I put 2 Supreme Court justices in place. I've done my job. I've done what I'm supposed to do, right?" And I immediately thought, "Holy cow!" Now remember, if you go back 6 years, I guess now, one of the Supreme Court justices, and I don't remember who it was right now, but they got sick, whatever, and so Obama had an opportunity to make an appointment, and the United States Senate and the United States Congress filibustered for as long as it took to get him out of office before they made a decision to bring in at that point now Trump, so that he could make the appointment that would then shape the way the decisions are made. Now, it's been very interesting because here recently they made a decision on, it wasn't Kavanaugh, it was Gorsuch was the head lead guy when they made the bill about the folks that are what is it, like the gay, like they made it so that the gay rights, gay and civil rights was the same, I guess. Or I'm not saying, I'm not giving it justice like I should, but you know, that just happened. And I'm sure Trump was like, he's probably like Scooby Doo. You ever seen when Scooby Doo gets surprised, like, like what the heck? Like I never thought that would happen. I'm sure that happened. I'm sure that happened last week because you know Trump did not expect that. But so 300 judges and 2 Supreme Court justices. How long is it going to take us to change that? It's going to take a long time. I tell you what, Robert's phone. I want you to comment on that. Colorado, if you ever thought about that, I want you to comment. Ms. Smith, if you do, if you don't, that's fine. And then Deal, I want you to wrap it up. And then Moment, anytime you're ready, you let me know because you got fired up on Saturday. So I know at some point you're gonna be ready to rock and roll. I'm just ready for you. Go ahead, Robert's phone. It takes people so long to get the mute off. I try to figure that out. Like,
is it me? Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Are you calling me Robert?
It says Robert's phone. That's what it says.
But you've never referred to me as Robert before. I would never in a million years. There could be somebody else on here named Robert. I didn't know you were talking to me.
Hey guys, guess what? That's Moose's brother right there. So you're right. I've never called him Robert. That's what's funny. Yeah. I've never had. Anyway,
you know what's funny to me is you talked about the Supreme Court. I had so much to say. You got some great guests tonight. This has been riveting. You know, I hate to use that term, but it has been. The Supreme Court decided that you could not be fired from your job because you were gay, transgender, bisexual, LGBTQ, which was a great victory. And one of the most conservative judges on the court sided with the liberals. So my point of saying, and also it was a good week for the DACA kids, the Dreamers too, which is something that Trump fought against. So my point is that he's appointing these judges, but they should not be political weapons for him, right? They should be doing things that are legally centered, not necessarily what Trump wants them to do. What bothers me as a dad to a 6-year-old in this whole conversation is that my foster boy loves the police. Every time a police car comes down the street, he gets all excited. I have him watching the news with me, and he's seeing all this confrontation. He doesn't understand why people are marching against the police. He sees the police as good guys. So it's hard for me to explain to him all the nuances of everything that's going on, especially because he's 6, he doesn't get it. And that troubles me because I know as a Black boy, I'm going to have to tell him, this is how you have to conduct yourself when you're in public. That even though you may not have done anything wrong, they're going to see your skin color before they see what you may or may not have done. That's a hard conversation to have because I want him to respect the police. I want him to be a law-abiding citizen. But at the same time, the world we live in, and I mean, I have to tell you that this whole thing for me, and then I'm going to shut up because I think I've gone over my 2-minute time frame. Yes, but shut up. But the whole thing for me is I'm unconsolable There's nothing that anybody can do or say. The corporations are all on TV now talking about Black Lives Matter. Ben & Jerry's done made a special Black Lives Matter ice cream. The dude at NASCAR, man, he wrapped his whole car in the Black Lives Matter symbol, and I'm trying to order the little model, the die-cast model of that car. I've never watched NASCAR. I never cared about NASCAR. My point is that all these people are saying this stuff, and I'm not consoled by it. You know, I don't believe what people are saying. I don't believe the world is going to change just today.
Wow.
I think racism is too deeply rooted in this country. But what I hope happens is that people get out in November and cast their vote, because that's all we have, putting people in power who can create some kind of change. That's the only thing, that's the only recourse that we have. Exactly. Vote, vote, vote. And I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you for the time, man.
All right, appreciate you. He took so long, I forgot who I said go next.
Shut up, man. Damn, get a new song. Your song is old and tired, man.
Hey, by the way, no one talks to Moose like that on the show. I will cut you off the show.
You can't mute me. We've already learned you can't mute anybody.
You know, watch it. Done. Yeah, I can do that. All right, Miss Smith. You have some thoughts, or you gonna just checking it out?
I do. Hey guys, how are you? I have some thoughts on the whole thing. I just think that racism in general is not. I think we're stereotyping a whole race, like they stereotype us. I mean, I have some great people in my life that happen to be white. I have family members that happen to be white. Are they racist? I don't know. But I think we have to be careful that we don't group everybody all into one package like they do us. And I'm trying to straddle the fence because, like the gentleman said, I have a 9-year-old and I raised her to have good relationships with the police officers. I also have a 28-year-old son who had bad interaction with the police. So I have one that loves them and I have one that don't care for them at all. So I think we have to be careful how we raise our children and teach them to be of good character no matter what. Do you disrespect? My baby came home one day telling me something to Popo. I'm like, well, where you get that from? We don't talk like that. You know what I mean? So I think, so because some of her friends were saying, and I said, well, we don't have that type of relationship with the police officers. I've had good experiences. I have bad experiences. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. But I got the inspector on speed dial, got the captain on speed dial, and I have family members who are police officers. So we have to be careful not to stereotype and group all people of one party in one bunch, because then we ourselves, are throwing rocks in a glass house. So that's my concern. I just think we just need to be careful.
All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. Yes, ma'am, Lisa.
Could I chime in on that?
Ms. Simpson, yes, please.
Because it's a problem, and that's one of the problems, that the police, that people saying that's good police that work in these police stations, they don't say shit. So I don't see you as being a good police officer if you turn your back, because if it's your family, that don't mean nothing. We dying like wildflowers out here in the streets, and ain't no police stepping up to the plate saying, hey, this shit need to stop. They in agreement with that shit. When they police officers get in trouble, they all want to quit with their police officers. They killing us out here. My son shouldn't be dead. Alton Sterling shouldn't be dead. Oscar Grant shouldn't be dead. Michael Wesley shouldn't be dead. Ronnie Man Johnson shouldn't be dead. All these children that they killing out here rapidly, and because a lot of people have those type of views, we gonna call the kettle what the kettle is. We ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. Fuck 12. There's no good cop, because they turn their back when they killing us out here on the streets. It's a shame that you got to be in fear just being a black man walking down the street, driving a car, eating at a restaurant, falling asleep in the car. So for people to just try to make it like, oh, you put it in a certain realm, no, we gonna call it for what the fuck it is. Genocide on our black ass. And they're killing us on a daily. Before we can mourn for one kid, we got to mourn for 3 or 4 more kids. Now they done took it back to the 1800s. They hanging us now. Where I live at, they lynched 2 people. Ain't nobody talking about that sister that they lynched her son one week and the police killed her other son the next week. So it's like when you got police officers in your family, you gonna feel a certain type of way. But if your family ain't saying nothing, they part of the problem too, straight out.
All right, you know what? Hey, I'm with you on that. I appreciate what you're saying. And here's the thing. Here's what makes it so difficult to do this because we open up the forum for every side, right? And my hope is that we all respect every side, because holy cow, when Miss Simpson is speaking, she's speaking from the heart. She lost a family member. She's speaking from the heart. So I respect that she's speaking from the heart. Yes, matter of fact, the police officer is going to speak after I speak. He's a sworn police officer right this second. He's going to speak right after I get done. And so it's one of those things where, and by the way, when pineapples, hey, Ron, real quick, you want to explain what pineapples is?
I will, and we're a little late to the pineapple party tonight. Pineapples is the heavy hitters safe word. So we have a lot of listeners who have children, and they listen to our show. So we say pineapples before we're going to say something slightly inappropriate, but oftentimes we miss it too, and we have to say pineapples after.
Pineapples.
Yeah, you get it. You get it, Miss Simpson. You're one of our neighbors, man. You're welcome back anytime. All right, Health Connection. What's up, buddy?
What it do? What it do?
Hey, guys, so the Health Connection has been down with Heavy Hitters Radio Show almost since its inception. He's one of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen that we met and hung out with back in the day, and he's part of it. And so but he's also a sworn police officer right now, currently. Like, he must be off today or something. I'm not sure what's happening.
I am a sworn sheriff deputy here in Marion County in Indianapolis, Indiana. My comment is for Miss Lisa. Sweetheart, I want to first and foremost let you know that my condolences to you for any losses that you have shared at the hands of anyone that has been sworn to protect and serve. Secondly, I also have heard the same comments that you've made from my own family members. However, my family members know that I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, one of the hardest cities and states that there is in regards to crime, police corruption, to whereas my own father stepped down from the police force because he was one of those ones who actually had a voice. I personally had chosen to make the same call several decades after the fact, but I did that just because I chose to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem, because I've seen and I've actually been housed in the same facility that we actually house almost 800 to 1,600 or 2,500 inmates at one time. I've been housed in that same facility. Never been to prison. Yes, I've been to jail a few times. So I do know what it's like to be on both ends. But what you need to understand, there are those of us who have a voice. There are those of us who have worked our way through the ranks of the system to make things better for you and I, and not only you and I, but anybody. When I see injustice in any form, I'm the first person to speak up. I'm the first person to do something. And the one thing that separates me, Miss Lisa, from everybody else or anybody who may not have the backbone, as you so put it, guess what? K Sincere can fight well. So good, bad, or indifferent, pineapples, if it's going down, I'm the one that's the first one in the fight to whip some ass, especially if it's for the right thing. So just so you know, and I know, there is one that you get to finally meet. It's a pleasure to meet you. That's actually standing for the side of what's right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, beautiful.
He even has that police officer mustache where you look at him, you go, man, either cut it off.
But then you got that big old space between your nose and your lip.
No, I understand. Hey, man. Hey, guys, you listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show. This is Moosagay Big House. We have D-Lo G up in here. Yeah, he's up in here somewhere. There he is. We also have Ron EMC, man. She's in the house. Actually, she's not here. So she must have – oh, there she is. So we have Ron EMC as well in the house. You listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show. We are a nationally syndicated show based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. But, man, we're all over the place, man. We love our folks from Virginia. We love our folks from Texas. We love our folks from Tennessee. And even overseas, which I think is weird. But, I mean, I guess they like us over there, so it's cool. welcome. We got the show on for y'all. And I'm going to give a quick shout out, man, to some of my friends that joined us tonight, man. Colorado's in the house, man, all the way from Colorado. But he has one of the coolest nicknames in the history of nicknames, Colorado. We got Mr. Dwayne Moment up in here, man, who is Indianapolis, but he hails from Philly. Let me just say that, from Philly, and he's a fiery individual. So I'm gonna open up for him here in a second. We got Corey, man, who's a teacher in southern Indiana, I guess, or southern and central Indiana. Who's a cool dude, ex-college quarterback. We got Jeff. We got Jeff, who is a friend of mine, and he's a big cheese of an organization here. And I can go ahead and say it, right? You don't care nothing about that. He's the CEO of Special Olympics Indiana, folks. And he's a friend of mine, and he's an ally, and has been. He was with me when the police stopped me in Nebraska, so you can tell how scared I was at that point. That's why he kind of got involved in this, like, oh, yeah, you feel like that? I'm like, yeah, we're in Nebraska, and I'm driving. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Luckily, I made it. I just got a ticket, and everything was cool. The big sister's on here, and then my other sister, Cassandra's on here, too. And then I don't know who Ashley Whitaker is. She's like not showing.
Ashley Whitaker. She used to work with me. We did volleyball together.
Oh, okay. She's not showing her face. Come in the scaredy cat, Ashley. Come on in. All right, Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Hey, Ron, where can you catch us on? Where can you, if you want to listen to us later on, where can you catch us?
Yes, so you can listen live or later on Spreaker.com. Just search Heavy Hitters Radio Show, or you can find us anywhere you find your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can watch us on YouTube if you want to see this delightful Brady Bunch that we've got going on. And anywhere else that you listen to podcasts that I don't know about.
That's kind of funny. Hey, remember we're on Twitter too. @Heavy
_.
Hitters
_.
Yeah, that's us, man. And we're on Stitcher too. So we're on all that stuff, man. Matt, we're on the fancy ones like Spotify and iHeart, all that. We're on all the fancy ones, man. Yeah, we are fancy. If y'all didn't know, yeah, we're fancy. All right, guys. So we've had Kwame Shakur here, who is a member of the new African Black Panther Party. We've had some moms, aunties, and family members of the Stolen Lives Matter movement. That's what we're calling it. I think hey Kwame, did I name that? I think I named that.
Stolen Lives Movement.
Yes,
we don't want nothing. We don't want nothing connected to Black Lives Matter.
Not matter. My bad. You're right. My bad. Not matter. Stolen Lives Movement. And I tell you, man, Miss Lisa Simpson spoke from her heart, and we appreciate you being here as well. And then
Thank you for having me.
I think everybody else broke out on us. Yeah. Everybody else broke out on us. So guess what, guys? It's time to celebrate fathers. It's time to celebrate fatherhood. It's time to celebrate all the things that make you a good daddy, a good dad, maybe a stand-up guy. Because if you didn't sire, is that the right word to say? If you didn't sire children, you can still be a dad. Because maybe you're mentoring folks and all that kind of stuff. Are you guys ready for that conversation?
Yeah.
Before you segue, could I respond to one question? It'll be 30 seconds.
It better be 30 seconds. Hey, by the way, guys. Hey, by the way, I'm not even gonna front. Kwame Shakur is my cousin. He's my family member. And I love him. And that, he's here. And so, membership has its privileges. That's why we're trying to get out of Rock the Vote, by the way. He has a platform where 35,000 people can listen to him. Welcome to the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Well, along with Lisa Simpson.
I need to talk to Kwame. I can't even talk to him.
What'd you say?
I said I try to talk to Kwame. I can't even talk to him.
Well, I'll hook you up later on. All right, go ahead, Kwame.
Yeah, give you my number, Moose.
I will. Good job. See, you're the only one that gets it right every time, by the way.
I just want to respond to Karen, I think, Kim Smith. First of all, with our organization, we are not a racist organization. You know what I mean? We believe in class struggle. We have the United Panther movement. That's white Panthers, black Panthers, brown Panthers, red Panthers, yellow Panthers. We all are revolutionaries that feel this system is the problem. We all stand up against white supremacy. Some of my white comrades, some of them is real vocal just like me. So just because I'm black don't mean that we against all white people, because that's definitely not what the original Black Panthers stood for. That's not what we stand for. For a lot of people get that wrong. We stand against this capitalist imperialist system, which is upheld by white supremacy and institutionalized in everything in this country. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let you know we have white revolutionaries as well.
We appreciate that, man. Cuzzo, we appreciate you. Hey, Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Happy Father's Day, guys. Everybody wave for your dad. Yes.
Happy Father's Day.
You can give me that, and it's all good. Hey, so, all right. So Father's Day just passed, and some of you guys, I sent this meme to you where the guy opened up his package, and there was a pair of socks, and he had an attitude. He's like, hold on a second. Like, your mama gets Benihana, flowers, you know what I'm saying? She get all this stuff, and you give me a pair of socks. And the dude was really, really mad at it. All right, so I'm gonna start with Mr. Moment. On Father's Day, I mean, is it okay to get socks? We can go Moment, Corey, and then Colorado and Jeff.
So my answer is probably gonna sound not popular. I don't get anything for Father's Day. I don't get, and this is going to sound really crazy. So, been with my wife for 30 years. We haven't done nothing like when it comes to Father's Day, Mother's Day, birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, none of that. We now don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean if I'm out doing something, I'm out tomorrow, see something that I think I like for her, I'll pick it up, or vice versa. But we don't celebrate any holidays. I know that sounds weird.
You are such a loving couple, though, Dwayne. I don't understand it.
That's why we're probably so loving. Because there's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
And I say pressure not in the real sense of pressure. Pressure is really like, not know you can feed your family. So that's real pressure. But I'm talking about in the sense of trying to uphold something, and you know, if this the right gift or if that's the right gift, they're gonna be happier. The thing that I'm fortunate with my wife, like I said, been with her 30 years. That was day one. That kind of hooked me. She likes sports, and she didn't care about any of these extra gifts. When she said that, I was hooked. There's nothing else, you know, for me, because I don't care about those things either. So if you don't care about them and I don't care about them, I mean, we got a great foundation right there. So,
right. Is she an Eagles fan?
She's a Colts fan because she's from here. Yeah, she's from here. So she's a Colts fan. And so yesterday on Father's Day, well, yesterday was Monday, so it was Sunday. So on Sunday on Father's Day, we were literally traveling back from Philly because we had to be down there for another funeral. Yep. So like this is the second funeral like in the last 3 weeks. And ironically, we was down there for a funeral for my cousin's husband, who his name was his captain, James Walker, who was the first police officer to die of COVID-19 in Philadelphia. So we were down here for that, and you know, it was just cool, as you know yourself being a dad, and as I'm getting older, just appreciating the fact that, you know, because we took all our kids with us. We took Michael and Gregory. You know Michael and Gregory well because, and I want to give a shout out to Chris with his program and his camps that he does. A lot of people struggle to handle kids with special needs. I have 2 kids that have severe disabilities, and Chris can speak to that. This is not like a fake thing. This is a real thing, nonverbal, you know. But they go to Chris camp every time they have breaks, and so we travel with them. This is the first time we traveled with them in 10 years since they were 7. We had a couple of struggles. Michael got a little aggressive, as you know, Mike as well as anybody. Gregory was overstimulated one night. Thought he was gonna get thrown at the hotel because he just kept running and making a lot of chants and stuff. But overall, it went well. So from a Father's Day perspective, it was great. It was great. And thanks for the invite as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. This is gonna sound kind of weird, guys. I don't think people equate a black father having children with autism or you know what I'm saying, like behavioral issues. Like I don't think anybody ever thinks about that, because it's not in their narrative. And here's a dad that's a businessman. That's he stays strong. It looks like his background, like they're like singing some kind of soul review, but it's one of those things where I think that people don't even think about that. So I'm glad you're here. All right, Corey. Somebody got it.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thanks, man. You too. Hey, we normally kind of do like a package deal each year. So, I take my dad out for dinner and then all the kids come along. And so, we take that day to celebrate. I mean, because, I'm going to be a little selfish on this day because I know that I'm a good dad and I know that he's been a good father to me. So we want to celebrate each other and celebrate, the impact that we've made on our kids' lives, daughters, sons. So we take that day and have a good day and get some good eat and just enjoy our time with all our kids. So
all right. Well, I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate you being here as well and giving some feedback here pretty soon. Colorado, talk to me.
What's happening, man? Just out here enjoying the weather today.
Tell me about your Father's Day out there in Colorado and what
for
it means
sure,
to you.
man. What I'm saying, usual, what I'm saying, chat with the kids on FaceTime in Indy. What I'm saying, I got kids here too, celebrate with them, throw some stuff on the grill, man, and do what we do out here in Colorado.
So laid back, folks. That's his steez. That's just his. By the way, Long Green, I just said that's his steez. Can you explain to us what that means, please?
We need an urban translation.
An urban translation for steez, yes.
There you go. That's his flow. That's his style. That's his zone. That's his
real quick.
steez.
Well, I got you on. I'm gonna go to you, and then I'm gonna go back to Jeff Moeller here in a second. Tell me what it's like about Father's Day, man.
Yo, like Father's Day is always real questionable for me. Like,
what?
I don't know. It's I don't know. Like I feel like I want to have this ego and this arrogance about Father's Day, but every year my kids are real crappy to me on Father's Day. I should be used to it by now.
Life.
I should be used to it by now. So like they've been in my house, and so they knew all weekend that Father's Day was this past Sunday. They hadn't planned to do anything for me, and all right, cool. So we just go with the flow, normal day. 4:30 on Sunday, they decide they want to make dinner for me. So I'm at the grocery store buying my own ingredients so my kids can make Father's Day dinner for me.
That's how it goes.
Do I love me or do they love me? I don't get it.
Well, they're young. Yours are young right now, man. So that's kind of how it goes right now.
I mean I got a 16 and a 13-year-old, man. They gotta figure this out, man.
What they cook?
Chicken spaghetti, which was cool, and they baked an awkward Father's Day cake.
An awkward Father's Day cake.
I'm jumping to all kinds of conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it just, like it was cake, but I don't know if it was perfectly shaped like cake, but it was edible and they did their thing. But I paid for that, so I feel like I also get partial credit. I'll make my Father's Day happen.
From you.
That's messed up. Jeff Moeller.
I'm telling you.
Thank you, sir. Jeff Moeller, how'd your Father's Day go, man?
It was good. Good one. It was nice and relaxing. But, it's pretty good when you end the day with a couple beers,
You sitting
But
out on the deck.
going back to your question though, are socks okay? Yeah, it depends if they're cool socks like you always rock, right?
You got. I would show you, but I'm not limber enough to get my foot into the screen.
I got it though. My kids gave me 2 canisters of disinfecting wipes. That was my Father's Day gift. But
Yeah.
it sounds crazy, but we're having the damnedest time opening the office again because we're having a hard time getting PPE and stuff. And my kids knew that, so they went out and they found some wipes and got it for me to help reopen the office. So, it's kind of a weird gift, but in a way, it's kind of meaningful.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. I like that a whole lot.
I still had to end the day with a couple beers though.
You have to. You have to. Hey, Robert, your daddy. Robbie, sorry. Man.
Oh, I can never find the unmute button.
Yeah, faster.
What?
Go.
Man, I'll come over to your house right now. No, Dad's Day was cool. It was cool, man. I'm kind of in the Dante boat. Like there was no big surprises or anything like that, but it was nice to celebrate. It was quiet. Went out to eat in Broad Ripple, Basbo's Pizza. Yay, we love that stuff. So it was all good. Can't complain.
Hey, so I don't know if you noticed, if you look on the screen, you have not seen one Dante on there, and which I think is so funny. But anyway, so nobody knows that is. You're talking about DJ Longgrain. But hey, so
man.
So real quick, can we talk about a little bit of the elephant in the room?
Okay.
Fine. Do you mind or not?
No, I do not mind. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Hey guys, so check this out. My brother, my brother's not. Well, he is married. He's married. Where's your husband?
He's in the living room. Probably, I don't know. He's hiding somewhere. He's in the living room.
He needs to get on here. I like.
Oh my God!
I like my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And so, folks, a lot of people have trouble with this. And remember, I told you we're at every angle. My brother has a husband, and my brother-in-law is Terrell. What's up, brother-in-law? Look, they got that Fisher Price.
It froze up.
Yeah, they got that Fisher Price.
Whatever, man. Go ahead. Go on with your big speech.
Anyway, it's not even a big speech, but you guys are parents. You've taken on a foster child. You've taken on a black young man who I love. He's so cool. I think he's cool. Y'all probably think he talks too much, but he talks just like my youngest. He's like nonstop talking. I like cars. I like that. Oh, look at that sky. Look at that. Uncle Chris, look at that. Yeah. He's nonstop, just like my youngest was, which I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it's like. Tell me what it's like, man, being in, you guys are out. I talked to you on Father's Day. I talked to both of you on Father's Day. What is it like being out with your husband and your son and y'all out eating dinner and all that kind of good stuff?
We live in a bubble because our church is inclusive, and so we go to church with a lot of gay parents. Our adoption agency has events at our church. So, we kind of live in a bubble where we don't really get a lot of backlash, But when you kind of gave me a heads up that this was kind of be on the direction that we'd be talking, and I thought it's so interesting because in our process to adopt and to become foster parents, we have experienced, we were at one agency and they denied us. And we couldn't figure out if it's because we were Black or if it's because we were two men. So it's like this whole world that we live in is very different because when people are looking at us funny, we never know if it's because we are two dudes and we have a child, or if it's because we're two Black dudes and we have a Black, I just don't know. You never know what people are really thinking about you. So we don't put any stock in that, right? Sean is our son, and he has never treated us any differently or asked us any kind of questions. We just love him. And it's just like, to him, I think it's like a boy's house. It kind of would be like when we go to Uncle Chris's house. You know, it's just a boy's house. And it was just lots of Matchbox cars and lots of pizza and lots of television with remote control. I mean, it's just a dude's house. And I think he just honestly loves that before he goes into questioning, there's something very unique about this situation. You know, he hasn't gone there yet.
Right.
And I'm sure the day is coming when we're going to have to answer some of those difficult questions. But we have a large support system around us that's going to be able to help us tackle that. But, you know, as far as society goes, man, I'm so evolved that I wouldn't even be aware if someone was trying to be homophobic towards us. In fact, in this day and age that we live in now, I'm more concerned about people being racist towards us. You know, that somehow we are two black men who can't raise this black boy, which doesn't make sense on the surface. But you can see how some people might say we're not equipped to be able to do that. But nope, we were in Broad Ripple, and Broad Ripple's kind of gay most of the time. So we had a good Father's Day. And I have to be honest with you, my husband gets real bent out of shape when both of us are holding Sean's hand and we're kind of skipping into Walmart together. He kind of like, this looks real weird. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay, maybe we shouldn't all three hold hands. Maybe that's a little bit too gay for everybody. But no, we don't have to face a lot of backlash because we have great support, just like you, Chris, aka Moose.
Yeah.
We have a great support system, bro. Thank you for listening.
Speaking of that, like real quick, you gotta be careful because one of my son's mothers is on here, and we eat broccoli and stuff over here too. Like we ain't
Do
just
you?
eating pizza.
Ow!
Yeah, we ain't just eating
No.
pizza and stuff.
No. Your son's mother already knows that the broccoli is fried in bacon grease, just like your Brussels sprouts. I hope she speaks up because she knows I know what I'm talking about. It may start out as broccoli, but it never ends up that way.
All right, anyway. Hey, Kwame, I'm gonna come to you in a second. All right, so hey, my man E-Web. E-Web's on here. E-Web's here, guys. So E-Web is my cohort on my ex-wife's husband. And here's the cool thing. My cohort on my ex-wife's husband is with my ex-wife right now. How do you explain that? I can explain it.
Explain it?
I tell you what, you explain it. You go.
Well, I mean, so to put it simply, man, we all just one big family. And I think a lot of people don't get that or understand that we basically put the kid first. And when we've just all been able to work this thing out perfectly, to where we all everything just runs smooth. So it's one big family over here. And you were supposed to be here on Father's Day morning, man, for brunch.
I was sleeping.
You told us you was gonna be asleep before you was asleep.
Yeah, because I know. Like he called me at 9:30. He didn't have a shirt on yet. I would have had to get up an hour early. I was sleeping. I was in the bed sleep, so I couldn't make it. But guys, did you hear that?
So to go more into what I'm saying, you know, my wife is your ex-wife. You know, she's sitting right here, Cindy, you know. But the reason why she's really the main reason why we are able to have the relationship, me and Moose, that we have. Because as I'm sure you guys know, the woman is like the first voice, and she can make or break a relationship, especially when it comes to dad and a dad, or a son and a father, you know. So, you know, I have to give high praise to my wife sitting here to being the initial driver of that force.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? A lot of people think it's weird that I hang out with my ex-wife's husband. I like that dude. Like, you know,
Yeah.
If she was gonna pick somebody, he was a cool dude to pick, right? I wasn't the guy. He's the guy. He can handle he can handle all that. And so it's one of those things where now he has a relationship with my son, right? And a lot of men struggle with that. A lot of men struggle with the fact that maybe another man has a relationship with their son, but if the dude is cool and can add to my son's experience, then I feel like that's amazing. And so guess what happens? Now he has two men, 2 black men, by the way, that
Mm-hmm.
are powerful and strong and listen and learn and pay attention to and do all the things that he needs, right? And so if I'm ever short, which dads, all of us know we fall short in areas. Man, I can honestly say I got somebody that might be able to pick up the slack for me, which is different than a lot of people have. And so I'm not even tripping on that. I'm not tripping on the fact that I have somebody that's a little different. The only big thing I have against him is that he's a Notre Dame fan where I love Michigan, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, I almost had that littlest seed on the bandwagon for a while. You forced him off of it.
That's the only time we had words. Like I was gonna have words with you
over to Michigan, man. But that's all right though.
I was gonna have words with you, Dwayne Bowman.
His best friend's a Notre Dame player coming up, so I think I'm gonna get him.
I know it's weird. It's weird. Dwayne Bowman, you got your hand up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. So the call has been great. Obviously, every topic, especially the first topic, but man, and I've been knowing you for dude, you more dope than I thought you was. Just the subject with your brother, which I'm finding out tonight, I didn't know. Not that it was some reason you would have to come and announce that to me, but you can obviously see that is a real genuine relationship and an understanding and appreciation for who he is, and then to come back around with the ex-wife and the husband. I just wanted to tell you, man, I always thought you was dope, but you more dope than I thought you was, man. Much love to you, for real.
Hey, you know what, Dwayne? I appreciate that. Hopefully, and guys, I don't want you to even think that. You know what? Just because my cousin's a Black Panther and my brother's gay, and I'm cool with my ex-wife's husband, don't make me a cool dude. It just makes me a human, right? And you know what? And maybe I'm the human that you're supposed to be. That I don't pass judgment on none of those folks for doing what they're doing, right? I love my cousin. I'm a support. Every time I talk to him, I end my message with, be safe, stay safe, be cool. Every time, because I want him to come home. You know what, guys, I don't know if you know or not, but I've seen Kwame Shakur shot, I don't know, 15 times, I think it was it something like that, Kwame? You don't just shake your head, but I've seen my cousin shot on the news. I want him to be safe, right? I've seen my brother where people looking at him funny and, trying to, a little bit, here and there. And I'm like, hell with that. I whoop their ass too, pineapples. Oop, I said it last, right? And so I've been in those situations, guys. And so I wouldn't implore anybody that's listening to please understand that you can love the Black Panther Party, right? You can love the LGBTQ and all the other letters that they use. Because I don't even understand all the letters they use and all the things, but whatever, if they're doing their thing. Guess what? We can also love people with intellectual disabilities and autism. That's why, Jeff is here, folks, today. He's a CEO of Special Olympics Indiana. It's a big deal that he joined us tonight. And then, and then the fact that, my ex-wife is here and her husband, who is my buddy. He's my friend. You know what I'm saying? He's my friend. So it ain't really nothing about me, but I will tell you that if you want to get any message from this situation, it's that you can listen and be a part of whatever you want to listen to and be a part of, and not judge those folks and understand where all of them are coming from. And that's what the Heavy Hitters Radio Show is all about, Dwayne. So I appreciate you pointing it out. Ron, I'm glad you're there. And by the way, folks, the one the only El Jeezy Mbaku is here. He's the star of the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. He's in his car. You guys can probably see him. He hasn't been able to change his name. What's up, Jeezy?
On the grind, yo. Out here, man, trying to earn a dollar or two, man.
All right, so listen, it's the Father's Day episode, man. You're a dad of daughters.
Daughters, man, yeah. Grown daughters, by the way.
All right, so talk to us a little quickly about daughters, and then and then we're gonna start playing some games.
Why y'all be quick, man? I
Huh?
gotta be quick.
Yeah, we got it's
No,
1
man,
minute.
Being a father of daughters, man, is it took a man to knock the balls off a kid. That's what I always say. So I did it 3 times. Very proud of. Why you on your head, Moose?
Because your internet's horrible in the car. Like we're gonna let you go.
Sound like
Let me go. That'll make Run happy if you mute me. She'll feel equal now.
So happy if you got muted. It would just set a whole new tone.
Hey, folks, real quick, if you understand, I cannot mute Jeezy. Jeezy and I are the ones that started this show, that started this movement, so I can't mute him because he's the half of that his radio. So I can't mute him. But holy cow, his internet is horrible. He's in the car.
So what I do, man, I get back at you like I did the house.
We love you.
Love y'all.
Peace, man. All right, guys. Heavy's radio show. Hey, you're listening. Hey, are you guys ready to do a game show?
Yes.
Here we go. All right, dads. So dads, I tell you what, moms. So Lisa, Kim, y'all unmute yourself. Everybody unmute yourself. Everybody's playing, and I'm gonna call you. Okay, here we go. This game. I thought about this game show earlier. It's making me so happy.
Scared.
I'm getting some feedback. Never mind. I should have probably did that. All right. So this game show is called Support Group. This game show is called Support Group, and what we're going to do is we're going to provide support for anybody because we're going to change and we're going to have a little bit of fun right now. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So this game show is called Support Group. Oh, damn y'all! I didn't play my music, and so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to start. I'm going to say
music.
What's that?
So we need music.
Yes, I'm going to say, hi guys. My name is Moose, aka Big House, and all you're going to say, hi Moose. And then after you say hi Moose, then I'm going to say what my issue is. So Dwayne, while I'm looking up this game show music, you got your hand raised. Please go ahead, speak.
Oh no, I apologize, my man. That's from the last time I was trying to speak. I'm sorry. I'll take it back down.
Hey, you one of them guys like me, like with the gray beard. We like, oh man, I was trying to just make it happen. Here we go. I got it. I know, guys. All right, here we go. Can I tell you this makes me so happy, by the way? Hey everyone, this is Moose aka Big House, the Heavy's Radio Show. I'm your host today. I'm the host of the Spontaneous Game Show, and today is Support Group Radio. Are we ready?
Yes, Moose.
Yes, Moose.
All right, I want to go first to get you guys interested, and then you just raise your hand and let me know if you want to go next. Are you ready to play? Support Group Radio.
Yes, Moose.
Yes, Moose.
Yes, Moose.
Hi, everybody. I'm Moose, aka Big House.
Hello, Moose.
Hello, Moose.
Hello, Moose.
I just want to say that during this COVID-19 and the fact that I work at a school, so I've been off a little bit in the summer, I've watched way too much Naked and Afraid.
Ooh, yes.
And I watched way too much Moonshiners. Can you guys offer me some support?
Pineapples.
Yes. Right Nobody's offering me support. Everybody's just laughing at me. You're not helping me.
What do you want?
Somebody
Do you
help
want us
me.
to come over and watch with you?
Hey, some of us had the same problem. Some of us had the same problem.
Call on Kim Smith. She can give you support. Call on Kim Smith. She'll give it to you.
Kim Smith. So do you watch the same shows that Moose is watching?
I watch Naked and Afraid. I often think, could I go on that show? Then I'd be like, no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hey, you know
what? After I think about it, it's dumb.
For free.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I was doing yard work the other day, and I was like, zzz, I'm like, I can't even. I'm in my own yard, and I couldn't take the bugs in my own yard, let alone be out there where they just eat you alive.
Or trying to eat the bugs. I'm not eating the bugs.
Why don't you do Naked and Afraid in your backyard?
Dawn edition.
You did the Hood edition, the Riverside edition. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do have a fire pit back there, but it's not working. Like my neighbors for sure will say something. So that side over there, like, there's no fence, so they'll see me at some point. They'll be like, hey, neighbor, why are you grilling naked? Like, I gotta
to make a boma, and then they wouldn't see you.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing all that. I got too much beat off and I'm backwards off and all kind of stuff. I tell you what, real quick.
How to go back to work?
What's that?
Are we supposed to support you in how to go back to work? Is that how this goes?
Yes, please do.
So, Moose, welcome to our support group today.
Yes.
We hear you that you are having some issues with potential binge watching that you've never done in your entire life.
Never.
We also realize that snacking and your clothes fitting could potentially be an issue going back to work. Here's what we can help you and suggest to you. Start limiting your screen time. Start waking up at a normal hour and showering. Now, while you don't have to go anywhere, you do need to try to get back into the routine since we may have to go back to school in 6 weeks.
Please take a shower. That would be a great take a shower.
I started the show by saying I was freshly showered, by the way.
I know, but freshly showered at 7 p.m. is different than being showered to go to work in the morning. You know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, everybody, this is my youngest boy. This is my youngest son. This is the littlest seed.
Hi, guys.
He's an essential worker because he makes pizza.
Somebody's going to consider that essential.
That's right. All right. I tell you what, Miss Lisa, you have such a beautiful smile. Do you have anything that you want to join the support group about? You want to talk to the support group about?
Man, all I can tell you is, bro, they need to get y'all back in school because, boy, I'm tired of watching these Zooms with these teachers not teaching our kids nothing. So whatever you can do, any way I can assist you to get you back in school, I'm for it all.
So you know that's like, guys, like, hi, my name is Lisa. I didn't hear you guys.
Hello,
Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
I need y'all teachers and educators to get these children back in school so that I can have my life back. Is that what y'all saying?
That's what we're saying.
Oh gosh.
That's what we're saying.
He's not playing. All right, who wants to play? Who's next? Yes, Sincere, go.
Man, since all this COVID-19 stuff been happening,
that's not how you start. You start by saying, "Hi, I'm K Sincere."
Hi, I'm K Sincere.
Hi, K Sincere.
The problem that I'm currently having right now is I noticed since all the COVID-19 has been going on, one of my testicles seems to be a lot larger than the other. So when I sit down accidentally on one of my balls and I smash it.
Oh no. I thought you could mute people. Move. Could you mute people?
Wait a minute.
So, Jeff, did you ever thought about that?
I'm not supporting that.
I need an answer.
That was classic.
I'm definitely not supporting that either.
That was classic, man. Jeff, that was classic.
I'm
You
down
actually
30
noticed
pounds.
that one was hanging lower than the other?
It's a lot bigger since I done lost 30 pounds in the last month.
Just the one?
The one ball is huge.
Oh, we know where the weight went then.
Lord. I think, hey guys, I can tell you that here recently I've gone to the doctor. You know what? They're open. So you might need to go check him out. The doctors are open again.
Go to the doctor.
You probably got a boil on it. You might got a boil.
No, it don't hurt. Hell no.
So wait. Hey, Miss Simpson, if you have a boil, don't you put like a potato on it or something? Like you put a potato on
Why
it,
he
right?
do his hand like this?
He gonna have to get it lanced.
I don't need nothing lanced down there.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the whole situation.
She hurt everybody's feelings. All the guys in the group were like, no.
They he looking. They he looking at it.
It ain't no boil.
Okay, thank you, Kate Sincere. Who's next? Longer, you next?
Oh Lord.
Man.
Sure. Hello.
He done messed everybody up.
Look, all the guys are holding themselves like. All right, go ahead, Long Green.
Hi, I'm DJ Long Green.
Hi,
Hey,
DJ Long
DJ
Green.
Long Green.
Hey,
Yeah,
DJ Long.
so like everything is mostly cool, but you know, pre-COVID, like I felt pretty consistent. During COVID, I felt consistent then too, and I'm still feeling pretty consistent. And like I get high a lot, and but I'm a really intelligent guy, you know what I mean? And I fight for good causes and do things like that. So I don't feel like it's a real problem, but I just don't see it ever stopping. Is there anything I should do about this or consider?
Eat more vegetables.
An NA appointment.
Oh.
No, you good, bro. Keep smoking.
Wow. That's the kind of support I'm looking for.
I wish we could trade problems.
So it sounds like you have a couple choices. You just keep rolling, right? Doing what you do. Or you get some help. You seek out some help.
I mean, but now I'm at a point in life because now I'm officially a gentleman of a certain age. So I have to consider if I stop now, like I work hard, like I bust my ass, I read a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like things that count. So if I stop getting high now, what does that throw off in the ripple effect?
Wow.
That's my concern.
It's hard to say.
It's working for me.
As long as it works for you, you're cool. I tell you what, man. You know, Moose.
So if it's broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Already, Sister Lisa.
Roll up. I want to hit that shit.
I really like
right
Lisa
now.
being here. Can I say I like Lisa? Can I say I like Lisa and Kim and everybody is here, like this group right here? I really like them. Like I really like them. I do. All right. Let me see here. Dwayne, did you go? Yeah, Dwayne. You have one?
Yes. Hi, my name is Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hey, how you guys doing? I hate to kind of bring this kind of a little more on a serious tip, but since COVID-19, I've lost like so many people. It's like unbelievable. My grandmother, my cousin's husband, multiple friends. Me and Kim Smith been knowing each other since we've been like 11, 12 years old. And we just have another friend of ours that we've been knowing that long, and she just lost her mother the other day. So that's been my biggest struggle. I can't stop thinking about death.
Not to mention schoolmates.
Yes.
Hey, is Kim in Kim? Are you in Philly, Miss Smith?
Absolutely.
Man, welcome, man. Shout out to Philly today, man, for sure.
Yo, that's crazy. So Moose, did you know that they knew each other?
No, yeah. Well, I was on a call on Saturday with the network here in Indiana. That was the Indiana Mentor Network, and so some of the folks that are here today are from the Indiana Mentor Network, and I appreciate them joining us today. I invited them, and Miss Smith is here, and it's funny because I said I remember this distinctly. I said, "Well, it's a Father's Day episode," and then I looked around, and Miss Smith was like, I said, "But women are invited," and she was like. So I distinctly remember that. It's funny because I was like,
wow.
She was like, yeah, I'm like, no, but women. She's like, boy, and she's here. So I definitely appreciate that for sure. So yeah.
Hey, cuz, I want to introduce everybody to Monteria Robinson. This is Jamarion Robinson's mother.
Hey.
Lisa knows her. She's a part of the movement. Her son was shot by the police 76 times. She was in the meeting, that's why she couldn't be on here. But I just came down here on my way to Tampa, stopped through, see Monteria. She's a good, like I said, me, Lisa, Vita, all of us are family. We like family. We stick together, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to introduce everybody to Monteria Robinson.
Hi.
I am so glad you are here. I know right now we're exercising a little levity, but I know you're pretty busy. And holy cow, I was not aware of your son's tragedy until today. And then I watched all the videos from your son, and from like Roland Martin and some others. And my goodness, it's a horrible situation.
And I've been out here for 4 years. And I've been out here for 4 years. And a lot of people, it's like, I just feel like our stories here in Georgia have not been, they've been overlooked. And they're continuously trying to overlook us. But this week, I just snapped on all of the activists here. So now because I was like, we have bigger fish to fry. And there's a lot of different things going on in other states, but they haven't addressed the issues right here in Georgia. And I was like, before y'all try to go in other people's backyard, you got to take care of what's going on at your house. Yes. And so now we're doing a big event on Saturday, and it's going to lead up to other, big events. But I just basically had to hold everybody accountable. And that's what I'm doing now, from the elected officials to the activists, because it's like I've been if you Google my name or my son's name, I pop up everywhere. I've been at almost every protest, rally, marches the last 3 weeks, getting on stage talking about my son's story. But I also made CNN, but the thing is Risher Brooks got killed. So I think they're going to follow it up with my story after Risher Brooks case simmer down, because that's really keeping the hot seat on Atlanta. But my thing is, I shouldn't have to be running around chasing all these different events, getting on the stage, and people be running me all over the place. But I always say, though, that's my job. Really my full-time job is to be the voice for my son. But I was like, if they're going to listen to me, I'm going to make them listen. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Doing. And so this past weekend, I had a Justice for Jamarion rally. And then after I finished that over the weekend, I just went off on all the community activists, because they keep doing marches, protests, and rallies, and they're talking about other cases in other states. That's not our fight. Our fight is Jamarion Robinson, Oscar Kane, Jimmy Etchison, and the list goes on and on. And when I go to these different events, it's like nobody have posters or signs and stuff with our kids' name. We've had over 130 deaths here in Georgia since 2015. Facts, and so when I get on stage, I be dropping the facts to them, and people be going like, what? I never heard of that. I never knew of that. But they know about what's going on in the other states, but nobody know about what's going on in Georgia. So on Saturday, we're going to do one big march protest. We're walking actually like 6 miles, but we're going to go all the way down MLK into the city. So that's like a 6-mile walk, but we'll grab, it turned to like thousands of people. So my son Poster, little baby, a rapper by the name of Lil Baby. He had my son Poster in his video, but he got my son Poster because I just made that poster maybe about a week a week and a half ago. And then right after that, he dropped the song with, you know, the video or whatever. But he got my son poster in it like throughout the video, like about 3 times. Have I sent you that video? I need to send you that video.
Yeah, no,
So
that you know, I tell you what, that little baby video, is out. Like it's critically acclaimed.
oh, so
Actually.
have you seen it?
Oh yeah,
And
no,
if
it's
you
out.
pay attention, they holding a poster in the video. It say Jamarion Robinson shot 76 times in Atlanta, Georgia. That's that poster that you see it about 3 or maybe 4 times throughout the whole video.
Man, like, you know, with Miss Simpson here still here, and you like you know, again, I haven't lost my son, and you know guys, I had something sensitive to talk about. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but I, you know, I got one of my sons here, and I got 2 other ones out like down in Atlanta. I got 2 sons that live in Atlanta, and that are grown. You know, they 22 and 26. But you know, I have no idea what it's like. I have no idea what it's like to be in that situation. Now let me ask you this, and this is going to be a very sensitive subject. When I was watching the videos and the information about your son, and how they went into him, they were looking for him, that kind of thing. They talked about mental health. They talked about because did he play football for Tennessee State?
Actually, he played football for Tuskegee University as
Tuskegee,
well
that's
as
right,
Clark and
Tuskegee.
Maryland University, and he played football throughout high school and
Tuskegee,
middle school,
that's
things
right.
of that nature. Yes,
It was
He was the
Tuskegee.
running back, cuz. He was the running back from Tuskegee.
It was Tuskegee. I mean, don't get me wrong. I went to Central State University, so I really don't like Tuskegee, but I, it's just that, you know, all that is the HBCU thing. That's all that is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It sounds like he was a good student. It sounds like he was getting ready to graduate, and he was in the biology. I think he was studying that kind of thing. So, what's the reason that the police were there?
Well, they're saying, well, I have all of the documentation and law enforcement expert reports and all of that. They said that they were looking for someone a week prior to that pointed a gun at a police officer and took off running. But once you go in and read all of the facts and evidence, my son was the wrong person. So they went back in and falsified now I have all of this in writing. Because, you know, we automatically hired a law enforcement expert, a chiropractic expert, or orthopedic expert. And my attorney told me that's open record. So all that has been produced to CNN. So they're going to talk about that. Because after they killed my son and they showed my mother the person they were looking for, and it wasn't my son, they went back in and changed all the documents to make it my son. And so the law enforcement expert talks about all of that. But from day one, I kept saying it was a made up gunfight. There was never a shootout because they dropped the false narrative to the media that my son had a shootout with police. All of that stuff was lies. It was false narrative. And that's what I had been standing on all this time. But recently, a couple of months ago, my attorney hired the law enforcement expert that went in. He had all the documentation. He showed how basically they lied from the beginning to the end, because after they shot and killed my son, you know, they have to write their own report, right? So they killed my son August the 5th. They wrote their own report on August the 8th. They didn't know I was going to come back with my own forensic person, my own investigator, my own ballistic person, because we hired them from day one. And so in their original report, they all stated, out of 7 of the officers who went into the apartment, they all stated that nobody never went upstairs. But somebody did go upstairs because somebody stood over my son and shot down to his body, because we thought it was initially 3 times, but I just found out a week ago because my attorney hired another forensic person, so we got 2. They say somebody shot down to his body 5 times. So, I mean, all the facts is there. So we're dropping all of those everything has been dropped to CNN. So CNN is going to basically uncover everything, since they don't want to do their job here in the city of Atlanta. Because now they're saying on January the 2nd, the DA was saying, oh, I don't have the authority to arrest them because they're protected by the federal government. So I did a press conference a couple of days later on June 8th and I gave them the document that indicated that they were not federal employees. So now the DA just arrested Risher Brooks murderers, and so now he's saying the reason he hadn't moved forward with my case is because they didn't have any body cameras. But I said my son's body is the body camera. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know what games but he's been telling me for 4 years, oh, I'm gonna indict them. I'm not gonna take them to court. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But we had originally agreed that March the 3rd was going to be the day that he moved forward with the grand jury. But you know, the COVID thing happened, and so that set everything off. But I was like, if you're arresting all these officers now since it's election time, arrest the officers who's responsible for my son's murder too. So that's how I look at it, you know.
Yes, ma'am, for sure, man. And I tell you, I looked at that. I looked at the video. I saw the Roland Martin video, and then I saw the other one where the police were there, and it was like maybe Atlanta radio or TV station or something. I watched that one as well, and and I just thought to myself, holy cow, like, man, like, like people just don't get an opportunity. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm opening up. I got two people with questions. So I got the Big Sis. She has a question, and then Dwayne Moment has a question. Go ahead, the Big Sis.
Good evening, everyone. And it's not so much that I have a question. I just have an observation, and I want to tie it all together. These events that have happened have, in effect, caused a lot of pain in individuals. It has given place for anger to take a hold and to consume. And now we're in the midst of the COVID-19. I've been saying that I want to go back to New Year's Eve. A lot of people go to church on New Year's Eve, and we heard a lot of things about 2020 and the vision and the things that we were going to see. I bet absolutely nobody predicted that we were going to be where we are right now.
Not one person.
At home, high unemployment, and a virus that we can't see that is taking our loved ones. So, Dwayne, you're going through a lot, but we are not going through more than we were prepared to handle. There are conversations and people that we're meeting now because we have actually had to stop to pause. These sisters have been fighting for years alone. They've had nights that we don't even know about. They've had nights that they can't even tell us about, that we wouldn't understand unless we heard their voices. So this has given us a pause to stop and to look and to reflect. If inside you find fear, it's not so much about what you're going to find. If inside you find anger, if inside you find hatred, if inside you find confusion, it's okay to find out those things during this time when we've all had to stop, pause, and reflect. It's what are you going to do about it when you find it? What are you going to do going forward? So that was it. I'm going back on mute. I had to put my hair thing on because I'm wearing braids. I didn't want to talk to the sisters without letting them see my face. And I didn't want to talk to Dwayne without him knowing. It's hard. I had a coworker, and all these people that aren't taking COVID seriously, I had a coworker. Within a month after we left work, he died, his sister died, his mother died, and his father died. I'm quite sure if they could have seen the virus, they would have done what they could to protect their immediate family members. So this isn't a joke, but there is peace. There is comfort. If you know that you have loved and been good to that person while they were alive, then you can trust where they've gone to now. And that's what I say, trust the master in this time, because that's really all we can do. I've discovered that the birds sing early in the morning, but at 9 o'clock at night, I don't hear birds singing. I've been living life so fast, I hadn't even listened to the birds. I'm talking to people that I've never met, that I never would have met if it weren't for this time. I would have been going about my life, doing my job, coming home, eating my food, laughing at my venues and watching my shows. But now we have an ear, we have eyes, and we are awake. What are we going to do going forward? Thank you.
Appreciate you. Mr. Moment, it's your platform. Thank you, the big.
Yes. I wanted to ask the lady, and thank you also for those kind words from the lady who just spoke. I can't remember her name. The lady who. No, I'm talking about the lady whose son got killed.
Robinson.
Oh, Monteria Robinson. Yes.
Miss Robinson.
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, I mean, with that situation happening, as difficult as that is, you know, me having children myself, I just can't imagine, because I just think about it now and I get emotional. So what I wanted to ask you, how are you doing self-care for yourself? Are you seeing a therapist? And if you're not, have you considered it? I'm, you know, as a person, I'm concerned about your well-being as much as I know, you know, your energy and your passion to fight for your son. How are you managing for yourself?
Well, you know, I take like breaks here and there. I did recently, about a month ago, I went on vacation with my family. You know, we went to Destin, Florida for about 4 days. You know, I'm the type of person, you know, I'm not no crybaby. I'm not no weak person. And I just feel like this is my job. This is my mission. I mean, I have my days where I kind of think about my son, may make me sad. And, but I'm not like the type, I just feel like I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. I'm a queen. And so if you watch some of my footage or videos or just me out in the community, that's just who I am. Because I mean, I have people that say to me, you know, because I've been through counseling before, and to me, that's a down. I don't like the way it makes me feel, because I mean, I feel like I ain't got time to cry. I cry when you know, I'll sleep and cry when I'm dead. You follow what I'm saying? But right now, I have to be the voice for my son. You know, and people always say, when you get on the news, you do. You know, people always call themselves giving me advice. You want people to sympathize with you. You know, you may have to cry. I always tell them that's not me. I say, because I have something to say. I want it to be well received, and I want people to be able to understand what I got to say clearly. So, if you're asking me to get on there and cry and do all this, I'm not that mother. That's just not who I am. My ex-husband used to always say to me, he used to be like, baby, I've never seen you cry before. And I used to want to say, and you're not going to, because that's just not who I am. You know, I still believe in, you know, I go out with my family. You know, I do stuff with my family like once a month. You know, we do a lot of family outings. You know, we do dinner together, maybe at somebody's house. You know, we play games, you know, play charades, play cards. You know, we be competing with each other. So that's my, like, way of, you know, having my time, my me time with my family and my son and my grandbaby and things of that nature. So, but other than that, my full-time job is being the voice and the face for my son, Jamarion Robinson.
All right, so real quick, and thank you, Dwayne, for your question. But Lisa and Ms. Robinson, how can you find the strength just to be regular? You know, here's what I hear. I hear this all the time. I hear this question all the time. They're like, well, man, you know what, Moose? They don't say that, but you know what, Moose? Man, I never knew you had any problem with this, that, or the other. You know, and I tell them, I go, because man, I gotta like live and be comfortable and, you know, have a good day and all that kind of stuff, you know. If I was out here shaking you up the whole time, then it would be it'd be messy all the time. How do you two, ladies, and what's weird is you're on either side of me, right? So you see me pointing this way, Lisa, that's you, and and Mama Robinson, that's she. So, how do you find the opportunity just to be regular for a minute in this fight?
Who wants to go for Lisa? You can go first.
That's a hard question, cause my life will never be regular again, Moose. I'm out here fighting for all sons and daughters of all denominations because our children deserve a future. I got my own foundation right now. I got my own 501(c)(3). I just got my website up and running. My mission statement is I'm trying to raise $100,000 so I can start burying these children and loved ones that's been impacted by law enforcement agencies all over the 52 states of America, because they're not going to stop killing us. And when I buried my son, it was hard for me to bury my son. I had financial problems, so I want to take that strain off of any family. So that could be the last thing they got to worry about is how they going to bury their loved one.
All right,
What's the name of your foundation, Lisa? You should tell
The
them.
name of my foundation is Richard, Richard, Risher, RISHER.com.
All right.
And what I've been doing too, actually, I do have a website too, justiceforjamarion.org. And so my plate is full too, but I think we're all fighting for the same mission, same cause. I know we just presented a bill that's sitting on the floor in the House, the Jamarion Robinson's Law. And so that's kind of what I'm working on that presently, as well as just helping bring awareness to us Georgia families. And we're just, actually too, I'm doing a lot as well, just like trying to start a foundation, because a lot of people don't realize, like when our cases don't make national news, before this happened to my son, I had a life. I made a 6-figure income. But after my son died, this became my full-time job. And even though I tried to work periodically, it's like, because to be honest, I be on the news so much that when my job would see me on the news, about a week later, they would release me and say, oh, your project ended. We no longer need you. And so a lot of people don't realize that place a financial hardship on us families, because even with me, I charge all my stuff. Like, I maxed all my credit cards out, paying for my son's funeral expenses. And then I had to turn around after that. We had to pay for my forensic and investigative ballistic. My attorney was charged of making me pay for all of that stuff out of pocket. And so I ended up moving in, living with my mom and stuff like that. But it was what hurts us the most of us families. You have some families that's like the cases that are new. They get millions of dollars. And I've been out here for 4 years. And if you Google my son, there are so many stories, so many clips. I've been to so many different states, sharing my son's story. But see, like at the time, people weren't listening. But it's like now I'm making them listen. You follow what I'm saying? Especially here too in Georgia. I've been on just about every stage the last couple of weeks here in Atlanta at a lot of different events, and they've been attracting hundreds of people. And people are going, oh, I never heard of that story, but it was also due to the false narrative that was dropped on my son. So now that people, like now the DA, he's being forced to come back on, he's being forced to come on TV and say, oh, we're indicting those officers as soon as our court system open back up. And with that being, so I got churches, I just had churches that just called me, like 30 pastors. They said, we're going to do a press conference next week or maybe the week after that to back you and show support. Because they were like, this doesn't make sense that he's been holding on to this for 4 years. And all of the evidence is there. The gun that they say my son had a shootout with, his fingerprints wasn't on the gun. So how he had a shootout with y'all and his fingerprints were not on the guns. So it just shows all the lies that they told. So what other evidence do the DA need? You follow what I'm saying? If the gun don't have my son's fingerprints on it, if the bullets don't have my son's fingerprints on it, if there's no bullets going out the house, then it's like, what other evidence? My son was shot 6 times in the palm of his right hand, 5 times in the palm of his left hand, throughout his entire body, from his groin to to his legs, to his thighs, his shins, you know, his torso, his entire body. And really, if you look at the medical examiner report, she said she stopped counting after she extracted, you know, like 59 bullets because it was just so many. And my son only stand at 5'6", 150 pounds. And like you said, I've been nice, I've been cordial, you know, with them, trying to work with them. But after I saw like Ahmaud Arbery case, right about 2 days before that, I was like, okay, they're letting us back out. I dropped my son photos of his body. I did the Emmett Till thing basically on Facebook. I got over 5,000 shares. And then about 2 days after that, Ahmaud Arbery was killed. So I just been going ever since then with it. And then maybe after I dropped it on Facebook, 2 days later, I dropped it on TikTok. TikTok, I had got over like 90,000 views. And my story just been moving like fire ever since. And so I was like, since the momentum is there, I've been keeping it going, you know. But people don't realize that, you know, it is a financial hardship on us families. You know, talking just to the mothers here, a lot of them have lost their jobs, they lost their cars, they lost their houses, because it's like, you know, this is our fight. This is our full-time job. Because it's like you can't go to work and say, oh, I'm happy. I'm so happy to be here to work with everybody. I'm in corporate America. That's not how you feel. You're angry. You're mad. You know, you want to do something about it. You follow what I'm saying? And so that's how I've been the last 4 years, because people's like, you know, I say, well, I can't get a job, so I got to figure out something else to do. You know what I mean? But my job full time has been being out here in the community, you know, raising awareness about what happened to my son. But a lady was telling me the other day, she was like, ask people, tell them what you need. You need financial help. But I was like, I'm the type of person, I don't know, to me, I don't know. She said, no, that's our duty. We supposed to take care of y'all family. That is our duty. And she said, if people feel some kind of way with it, then let them go on about their business, because this is not for them. But she was like, I was like, I just feel some kind of way about it. She was like, no, always give people your GoFundMe, give them your cash out, give them what, you know, whatever, and tell them exactly what you need. You
All
know.
right, Ms. Robinson, that's your time right now. Give it to us.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
my GoFundMe is just GoFundMe.com and it's Justice for Jamarion, and that's Jamarion, and that's Justice for Jamarion. I'm on all social media outlets at Justice for Jamarion as well, and we can drop you all this flyer with all the information on it, but it is Justice for Jamarion.
Okay,
Can I
Justice
speak
for
right quick?
Jamarion. Yeah. What's
Can I
up?
say
Put
something,
the
Moose?
information. I'm gonna send the information to you, Moose.
All right. Miss Simpson, go ahead.
See, and then what I wanted to share, I was listening to Ms. Robinson. In Los Angeles, we don't get the action that other states get to talk to our DA, to talk to the prosecutor. They don't fuck with us, period, pineapple. But they don't mess with us, period, on the West Coast. They kill our children, and we don't get the pleasures that other states get. Like when a DA is involved, they can talk to the prosecutor, they can talk to legislators. We don't get that action in California. Our DA, you got to go to the bottom of the office. She on the 24th floor. It's police downstairs. They not letting you up to her. So we don't get to talk to nobody. We don't even go to the police commission board meeting where they have no power. You feel me? So it's like in a lot of other states, they get more grace than in California. We don't get that grace, especially in Los Angeles. In different parts of California, they can go talk to their DA and all that. But in Los Angeles, California, we just out there on the limb, nobody to talk to. And no help.
All right, and I appreciate you. Sincere, what's up?
Hey, Miss Lisa, quick question. So you out there in California?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm so sorry for whatever I said earlier. Forget that. You in a whole different universe over there. I got to visit once, and I got to talk to some people who work over there. It's not the place for me, and I don't think it's the place for you either.
Exactly. When this case is over, I go to mediation on the 7th of next month, and I'm supposed to go to court on November the 7th, because my 4 years will be next year on the 25th. I'm getting out of California.
I'm praying for you, sister.
Hey, Moose.
He got up.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
He gone.
Hey, I just wanted to ask.
Momentarily, I'm sure.
The two mothers. if they could somehow get the information to me, and my organization, which is Vantage Point Children and Family Services, we'll be making a donation of $500 a piece to both of you guys.
Oh, God bless you.
I just need your address and who to write the check to.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was on mute. I didn't realize that.
You need you want to donate it to my foundation, or you want to send it to my Cash App, or how you want to do it?
All right, we'll be writing a check. So however you just need to send me the information on how you want the check written out to, who you want it to written out to, and the address to send it to.
All right. So what's your name on here so I can inbox you after this?
My name is Dwayne, DWAYNN, and my if you want to go ahead, my phone number is 317-313-30.
Write it down for me, Kwame.
Say it one more time.
317-315-6230.
All right. And that's Dwayne Moment, right?
Yes.
All right.
You text it to me, Kwame, and then Dwayne, I'll reach out to you after the Zoom.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. We really appreciate that.
No, it's a very small amount for what you guys are going through. We'll keep in touch. I'll see what I can do as each month passes by.
Hey, you know what, Dwayne? We need to invite these ladies. And maybe Kwame to the Saturday talk. Was it 2:00? It's this Saturday again at 2:00, right?
It's at 12. We do it at 12.
I'm sorry, noon. Yeah, we need to invite them to the noon. We need to invite them to the noon talk this Saturday, because I think they would enjoy it, and I think the people that are on that call would holy cow, get an awakening. Don't you agree, Ms. Smith?
Well, actually, I have an event on Saturday. That we're planning a big event here in Atlanta for all the Georgia mothers. But I would be more than happy to come back on at another day. What's usually their day during the week? Tuesdays.
The heavy hitters are on Tuesdays at 8-ish. You know, because every now and then we be on CPT time. You know what I mean? We
I don't got nothing planned on Saturday. I'm just trying to go stand in solidarity with the mother that lost both her kids in 1 week. One was hung, and a week later, one was killed by the police. So.
My gosh, man, you need a break. Listen, Miss Simpson, you need a break. You need to take you a bath and get you some salt, bath salts or something in there, and light a candle. You know what I'm saying? Get you a bottle of wine. I'm gonna send you a bottle of wine. I think I'm gonna have to send you like a fancy bottle of wine or something, so you can just chill out a little bit.
Man, I gotta put in this work though. I gotta save these children. I want the police to cease fire. Period. You feel me? It's sad that all these youths are dying, and our youth is our future. And I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I don't want to work at Burger King when I get 70.
She said she don't know what.
I don't want to work at Burger King.
You don't want to work at Burger King with 70. I heard you. Yeah, for sure.
All right, we gotta go, Moose. I'm gonna send you both of their numbers.
Do
so
that.
you can stay in touch anytime. You can have them back on.
Please do. Yeah. Please
Thank
do.
you guys for having us.
Thank you, sister. Thank both of y'all.
I'm honored to be a part of your show, Moose. Keep up the great work, brother.
Hey man,
All
I tell you
power
what.
to the people. Free
Hey,
them all.
y'all welcome back.
To the people.
Y'all welcome
Boots on
back
the ground.
anytime, man. Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
That's right.
All right, DJ Long.
All right, love y'all.
Alrighty, bro.
Y'all too. Good night.
I love you, sis.
Love you too.
Love you, sis.
I gotta get out there so I can come stump the yard with you, girl.
Okay, definitely.
Let me know, and I'll be on the first thing smoking.
That works.
Just wear a mask. Wear a mask.
You say wear a mask.
With pineapples.
Pineapples. I love y'all.
Love y'all too.
Busy, man.
Peace.
Hey, it's Xavier's radio show, man. I tell you what, we've had an amazing an amazing show, man, where we had you know, some family members, some caregivers of folks that have been killed, you know, in this day and age, and you know that, you know what, I always find it interesting that they're able to laugh with us a little bit, they're able to joke with us a little bit, even though their whole frame of reference and their whole frame of delivery is injustice. And my family member or my son, in some cases, was killed, and they still can joke with us and laugh with us. And man,
Yeah.
how strong is that, D-Lo? Is that
Yeah.
power or not?
Man, it's powerful, bro. I mean, it's so inspiring. You know what I mean? Because you'd have to really dig deep to be able to go through something like that and then bring yourself to the point where you're at the forefront of the fight, constantly engaging people, constantly being on, but you've suffered this huge loss that most of us have no idea about. Most of us will never know about. And again, in our community, it's bad enough that, you know, we do have more killings than what we'd like to see, but at the same point in time, you know, police are there to protect and serve, and they get paid for this. You know what I mean? And for you to have to go out every day and to see the uniform that took your son's life.
That's crazy.
Man, I'm mind blown, man. So salute to those sisters, man, because I know it's got to be tough.
For sure. All right, folks. Heavy's Radio Show, man. You're listening. You know, you can catch us on all the podcast sites. Like we're on those fancy ones like Spotify and what's that other one? iHeartRadio. We're on all that. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on all that stuff. You can catch us on that. You can catch us on Twitter @Heavy
_
Hitters
_
Although I have not posted anything on there in so long, so like when you go on there, you're gonna be like, "Oh, the Pacers are in the playoffs." Like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. So anyway, hey man, this is us. This is us. We are a syndicated show, and I'm gonna tell you something. If Big Gates is hollering at us, I have not checked. So I feel sad and sorry for him that I have not checked. I will go and I will check, and I did send out the information to Book as well, so he had an opportunity.
I think
all right, guys.
he peeked in for just a second.
Yeah, is there? I'm sorry. What did you say?
He popped in for just a second.
You said
You for sure said he peeped. Hey guys, you know what the joke is? He's blind. He didn't peek into nothing. Anyway, all right. So real quick, we need to get on with the rest of kind of the stuff that we talk about. So I tell you what, run. You're gonna run that news. Here's the cool thing: we have Dwayne Moment here, and we have Miss Kim Smith here, right? We're gonna let them comment. Hopefully, you guys are okay with that. We're gonna let them comment on Run That News, where Long Green and I will kind of be quiet. So I tell you what, you run that news, and then we'll go.
Yes. Okay. So we haven't done Run That News in so long. So some of this is going to be older news that we just haven't discussed yet, and we'll just make sure that all of our listeners know about it. So we mentioned this last week a little bit, but Nickelodeon has been in the news a lot lately for two very specific reasons. First of all, they have said that SpongeBob supports the LGBTQ plus community. So the new story is now that SpongeBob is a member of the LGBT plus community. People are very upset over it. And they did a commercial, and the commercial was just a black screen that said, "I can't breathe" for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And the Karens of the world are like, "How dare you subject my child to that?" And then other people are like, "Yeah, this is a reality my child lives with every single day." So I think shout out to Nickelodeon. I'm here for it.
All right, Ms. Smith, you have any thoughts about that?
SpongeBob is gay. I don't know that it matters. I really don't know that matters. Like, he's a sponge. I just think that too many people are too sensitive about too many things. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It takes me back to when my children were coming up and they used to watch the Teletubbies. Was it the Teletubbies? And they said that the purple one was gay and they had this big old thing. I'm like, does it matter? You know, does it really matter? So that's my take on it. Does it really matter? They're still human. It's still a sponge. So does it matter? You know, how does that affect my world that SpongeBob is gay? It doesn't. And even if if SpongeBob was a family member of mine, you know, you still have to love them unconditionally. Stop passing judgment on people. And I think everybody needs to stop being so sensitive.
I think that's fair.
Mr. Dwayne, what do you think, man?
So, I feel like that's a little more complex for me. In my viewpoint, for me being an adult and looking at anything from a bisexual, transsexual, whatever it is, gay, whatever it wouldn't be, I have no issues. Even if you're talking about teenagers, you know, my daughter is 19. I have no problems. I do get concerned for some parents when you talk about Nickelodeon and you got maybe a 5 or 6 year old, you might not be ready to explain that to your child that time. So that would be a concern for me. And again, I'm not saying, let me make this very clear about what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's something wrong with them putting it on, but I am saying I do understand if it's some parents that's concerned because depending on what age you want to address that with your kids, especially if caught off guard, and even the thing with the 846 and the black screen, I totally get it. For me, I think that's dope. But if I got a 6-year-old or 5-year-old trying to explain to them, I don't know if every parent wants to be talking to their kids in that arena at that time. And it's not up to me to judge or say that they should be doing it. You know, it is a reality we live in. That's not even a question. But I wouldn't want to put parents on the spot, you know, to have to make that conversation when maybe they don't want to. So,
man,
that would be my view on it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely appreciate that. And you guys are right. I mean, you know, like, you know, I don't know. I got.
But it's 2020. It's 2020. You're going to see them walking down the street holding hands. They got commercials. It's time to address it. I mean, you have to address it at some point. No, we may not be ready, but they didn't put on there SpongeBob with a skirt and he's supposed to be a boy. They just said he's supported. They want, you know what I mean? So why are you getting all upset with SpongeBob? Because the TV show supports that right for people to choose. It to me is it's
Kim,
a sponge.
Kim, that's how they doing it though. You know, like
It's 2020. I get it.
Even my little C right, he's like, SpongeBob's gay, Dad.
Like when that came out, I was so sad.
Like I don't even like sad. In my mind. I'm like, why do you even care?
Because everybody wants SpongeBob world to be with SpongeBob, and
so
now
SpongeBob's just not gonna have children. That's the only thing that matters.
And SpongeBob is already weird. If you watch SpongeBob ain't normal. So why are you worried about who he supports?
Look, he's sad because he thought SpongeBob and Sandy were gonna have a relationship.
I thought they were on that the whole time.
He thought squirrels' lives mattered.
But no, SpongeBob was just a gay best friend.
World love.
Well, how did they do it? Was it an announcement made that said, "Hey, we're going to be"? I'm talking about on an adult show where they say, "Hey, we're going to be making this announcement," where they could give parents a warning before they do it, or they was just watching a TV show and they went out as the kids are watching. You know, people got really upset a few years ago about Janet Jackson's breasts being shown at a Super Bowl, you know, because they wasn't ready for it. I mean, for me, I ain't had no problem with it. It wasn't out long enough.
I was ready to see her breasts.
Right. You know, but And I kind of anticipated something's going to happen. But for a parent, I get that part. For a parent, and your kid is watching the Super Bowl halftime, you just want to have a warning. I agree with Kim saying it's going to have to be talked about, but I don't think it should be put out there to the point where a parent is not having enough warning. Now, if I make an announcement an adult channel, hey, this will be coming on our TV show, and you hear that, and you let your child watch it, then that's a you problem. You decided to let them watch it knowing that we were going to make this announcement. You can't control what I put out there, but at least give me warning so I can make a decision if I want to discuss that or not.
Yeah, so it's actually posted on their social media.
Cool, so they made the announcement.
It said, celebrating Pride with the LGBTQ plus community and their allies this month and every month. And then this was the picture that they posted with it. So it never officially says that SpongeBob is gay. Just
right.
And it wasn't on the TV show.
Correct. And then the creator said that he never intended for Patrick or SpongeBob to be gay. He always considered them asexual.
Yeah, they for sure.
I don't think I ever thought about it.
I mean, they've been suspects since day one. Hey, you got any other news? You got any other news?
There's all kinds of news. For the sports people, we do not have to totally go without. The National Hot Dog Eating Contest for July 4th is still going to happen, just at a different location with no fans. So shout out to Joey Chestnut. He is my fave. He will still get to do his competitive eating of Nathan's hot dogs. So don't worry, July 4th will still be the same. Just as
my only question would be, is he gonna have a mask on?
So they're gonna have to socially distance.
How you gonna eat hot dogs with a mask on?
I'm saying you raising it up. I'm saying, it's going to make it efficient where he got to keep raising that mask to eat them hot dogs.
True. So they're going to have a third of the competitors so that they can spread out. The staff will be wearing masks and gloves, but the competitive eaters will not.
Okay.
So,
you can't. How you gonna eat a hot dog with a mask on?
You can.
I
guess you can lift it up and
it'd be totally ineffective and messy. Ew. Because it runs down their face.
Well, I would think with him eating those hot dogs like that at that rate, all those competitors, the droplets that's going to be coming out their mouth, it's got to be coming 1,000 per.
Right.
COVID everywhere. COVID, It's going to be COVID and hot dog juice everywhere.
Yep.
Which is two of the worst things you can get on you.
I think you just threw up a little bit.
It's a hot dog juice.
It's bad.
So I'm gonna make you laugh. We had our grief counseling session last week, and they brought us the Popeyes chicken sandwich, the crispy chicken thingy that they were supposed to. I've never had one, so I'm looking at the sandwich and I was like, well, what's on here? And I don't eat cheese, and it was some kind of sauce, and it didn't look right. And I'm looking at it, and as I'm getting ready to take a piece of it, somebody said, that's the coronavirus in the middle of a session. So I just bust out laughing, and I had to leave the room. And then they broke it down, really think about it. Nobody got sick until they had these grilled chicken this crispy chicken sandwich, and they got this stuff on here, and they ran out of chicken sandwich. How difficult is it to make a chicken? Then they got these other chicken sandwiches, and then here come the coronavirus. So I was like, I'm getting ready to take a bite of this this crispy chicken. They said, that's the coronavirus. To make a long story short, I did not eat the chicken.
You're like,
oh, wow.
You didn't try it?
Wow.
I didn't try it. It was just at the moment.
Psychological.
Yeah. And then we were in the middle of a circle and the judge was talking and we all bust out laughing at the same time. So we got all these little eagle eyes and I had to leave out the room because I was choking and laughing at the same time. But yeah.
The conspiracy theorists.
So damn it. I've been looking, you know what? President Trump said it was the Kong flu, and then what else did he say? It was the China virus.
It came from China.
And really, it was old girl from Love That Chicken from Popeye. It was her?
They said it was the corona. They said don't eat that. That's the coronavirus. And it was some white stuff all over. It looked like it was supposed to be some special sauce. And I was like, no.
Popeyes donates to Trump's campaign, so who knows?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What's next?
Wow.
Moving on. Let's talk about Bubba Wallace, the black NASCAR driver. So NASCAR drivers went to Talladega, and Bubba Watson said that Bubba Wallace said that there was a noose found in his garage. And so we all were assuming that this was a hate crime. The FBI got involved. As of today, the FBI said it's not a hate crime. It's a garage pole that's just so happened to be shaped like a noose, and that it's been in there since October of 2019. So a few things here. I don't believe it for 1 second. Why would you leave something in a garage stall that looks like a noose anyway? And then why would you assign Bubba Wallace that garage? They said there was no way for anyone to know, except that you've known that was in there since October of 2019. So, like, one of these things does not belong.
You know what? My comment's gonna be for a long time. 300 judges. 300 judges. I mean, you know what? We are in trouble until we have 151 of them replaced. 300 judges. That's all I'm ever gonna say about it. I'm not gonna waste my mental capacity on the rest of it. I need 151 judges, and then then I can relax a little bit. So there we go. 300 judges.
My thought on that is that Bubba Wallace, and it's just all opinion, right? What I'm saying right now, right? So Bubba Wallace is, I think, the only black driver on the circuit.
The only one.
I would bet my life. That he has accepted, danced, for lack of a better term, allow a lot of stuff to be said and accepted, and now, it's popular to go against it. So now he's on the other side of it. It's hard for me to believe in that realm, where literally they've been letting people carry the Confederate flags to the races for years, until just now they just said they're going to stop it, since, again, the popularity of inequality. It's hard for me to believe that Bubba Wallace has gotten along with all of those drivers who are literally, most of them, deep South driven people. There's no way for me to believe that he hasn't sat back, allowed some dumbass jokes, excuse my baby talk, some pineapple. He allowed some dumb, really dumb things said, and he just to get along and not want to rock the boat. And that's Bubba. That's my guy. He knows I don't mean it, and he's went along with things. So the news thing, as much as it irritated when I heard it, I guess maybe I'm not a NASCAR person anyway, and so I'm not really necessarily feeling that Bubba. It hasn't been truly Bubba for the last few years.
Hey man, you know what, Dwayne, I appreciate your comment. You're right. I tell you what, I like racing. I'm from the west side of Indianapolis, right? So I'm one of those few black men that understand and enjoy racing, because it's been a part of my life my entire life. I'm from Hallville, which is adjacent to the Indiana Motor Speedway, right? So I've been a part of it my whole entire life. And so I'm all in. So you know what? I think it's interesting that we had Bubba Wallace. I mean, for years ago, in the 500, or in the Indy motor car, what it's called. We had a brother back in the day. His name was Willie T. Ribbs, which I know is unfortunate.
They made the movie, Richard Pryor's movie.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. His name is Willie T. Ribbs, but he was the first black, he's the first black man, that was in racing. And so, they've been in that arena for a long time. My stepfather, who I have his name, right, his last name, was a racing fan. And we would go to these little podunk places here in Indiana and watch these races. We'd be the only black family there, and he did not care. He liked watching the races. Matter of fact, I still think about the fact that if I'm on a curve, I need to be careful on the way I make that curve so that I can save my tires. He would say stuff like that, right? And he was a black barber, but he just loved auto racing. And so, it's not a situation where black people didn't like it. I think we stayed away from it because it was such a stigma. It was such a stigma that, like, well, we're not gonna go there because, there's not a bunch of us there. There's not, that kind of thing. So I applaud Bubba Wallace for doing this thing. I'm a big fan of Willie T. Ribbs, man. I'm a big fan of racing. The only thing I would say, though, is that Bubba Wallace probably could have won this last race, but he ran out of gas. That is a black situation. It made me sad. I was paying attention to it, and he was like, well, Bubba Wallace in contention, and then he ran out of gas on lap, like 4 laps to go, he ran out of gas. I'm like, what? Come on, brother.
We don't have to check the engine light in the race car? Or
say what?
50 miles till empty?
He ran out of gas. The brother ran out of gas and came in 14th instead of first.
It's a whole science with racing and your gas because there's not a gauge, so you don't know. You have to listen to your pit crew. But they have to calculate how many laps are left and how fast you're going to know how much gas you'll need so they know when to pit for the last time. And then, like, if there's a caution or something and you have to go slower, then you can totally run out of gas. And so it's this whole, like, science thing. I just sounded real pilgrim, but you're welcome.
But the brother shouldn't be on the spotlight and run out of gas to lose the race. Like, this was a bad look.
He probably used too much gas when they were all surrounding his car. He was probably like, move, like Luda, get out the way. And they messed up his gas mileage for the whole race. I'm gonna go with that.
I'm sure you are. Hey, man.
But on that issue, I think there are a lot of people that play sports. For instance, it's not too many black people that do golf. We're striving at tennis and different things like that. It's a lot of people that probably sustained a lot of racism over the years, but were passionate about what they were doing, and they just tolerated it because they didn't have anybody standing behind them to help them fight. Now was the time to fight. So even with police officers, people in the different sports arenas, let's just look at Kaepernick. He had nobody to support him. Even his own people, they supported him, but they didn't support him. You know what I mean? So now is the time for everybody to stand up and say, I ain't like that pineapple from years ago. Now is my time to stand up because I got all these people standing behind me. Because if I stand up, okay, we get together and say, all right, well, we get ready to do this thing and we're going to fight. And I go to fight and I'm standing there by myself. Now I'm losing my job and y'all sitting there like, oh, I ain't really believe you was going to do it. You know what I mean? So now is the time for everybody to stand up when you have that support.
Yes, Kim Smith.
And I will say that Bubba Wallace he was like the main person that helped change the Confederate flag policy for NASCAR. So he led that movement. So I know that people are upset with him for sure, but I think that of all times, this is the time to make that change.
This is the time. This is the time.
Because it's about their heritage. That's what they say.
And Moose? The Confederacy was only around for 5 years.
The culture war.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many years the Confederacy was around. And the rebel flag was not even the Confederate flag, so they can miss me. There's 2 other Confederate flags that have different meanings, and then this flag was created in order to show that you were in support of maintaining slaves. So they can miss me with all that heritage nonsense. is not even true. If you're going to try to come at me with that, do your research and be educated about it so that I don't have to school you, because I will.
Part of the culture war that they want. You know, these people are easily led, and you know what I mean. Once you've convinced them that this is the way to go and everybody's doing it, they're like, hell yeah, you know, that's just it. You know what I mean? So
let me fly it from a truck.
The culture war was definitely one. The Confederacy lasted 5 years, but the culture war in itself is still going on to this day.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, hey, real quick.
Hey, Moose, did you mention Stacy Shields, black racer, the hot rod racer that used to always come to Indianapolis and Claremont every year?
No, I did not.
Or you have a familial connection with Marilyn. Ask Marilyn who Stacy Shields is to her.
Okay.
I kind of forget.
All right, I would do that. I would.
But that was a big deal for us because we didn't know any African Americans in that raced hot rods. So we got into hot rods because of that familial connection.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm late to the party. I had to take a break.
I understand. You know, I'm surprised you're even still awake at this point.
Hey, I told you I took a nap. You right, because I clock out and my brain won't even know my body's gone to sleep. So,
hey, folks, listen to Every's radio show, man. I tell you what, you know, this has been one of my funnest nights over the last, I don't know, I think I've been doing this thing maybe 5 or 6 years, but this has been one of my funnest nights, and I missed that Jeezy wasn't a part of it, but holy cow, I'm glad that I was a part of it because, man, we got Kim Smith here, we got Long Green still left, we got Ron, we got Dwayne Moment, the big sis, and there was so many people here, you know, that they just kind of like peeled off, but that were here. That was amazing. I can't wait to go back and listen to this show and you know and really glean the information because folks, I'll tell you what's happening when I'm a part of it. I'm like doing it. I'm in it, you know, and I'm all a part of it. Then people go, well, what'd you think about that? That what so and so said? I go, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm a part of it. Like I'm you know, it's happening to me like right now. So I'm definitely gonna go back and listen to this thing because holy cow, we've had some amazing people interact with us tonight, and I definitely appreciate it. So listen up, heavy hitters, Dwayne Moment, the Big Sis, and Kim Smith. If you guys have seen anything, what's it called? I've been so sentimental, I forgot what my train of thought is. Oh, I know what it is. Brews and Reviews. All right, so quickly, Kim Smith. Brew and Review. If you've seen something in the world, you want to tell people that you feel good about it, then you give it 1 brew. If you hate it, if you did not like it, if you thought it was horrible, then you give it, you know, 6 brews. Kim Smith, give us a brew and review.
Brew,
yeah, brew.
Like review. Okay, like a witch's brew or brew drink.
Exactly. Like
okay.
A drink, like a beer.
So if I seen something.
Yes.
If I seen something in the world.
So imagine you're at home and you're watching like Netflix and you watch some show. You watch some show and you like. I tell you what. You know what? Here's what's happening, Kim Smith. The Big Sis is throwing you she's
a lifeline. Okay, I'm gonna take this lifeline.
Go, the Big
oh
Sis.
no, I'm just gonna set an example so that she has an idea.
Yeah.
Friday, ABC had a Juneteenth celebration on, and I give it 0 brews because it was all the black anchors from ABC, and each one of them had a segment where they talked to somebody. They related not only what happened years ago, they brought it up to today. It was a really, really good program.
How many brews?
So
you
I
get?
give it 0 brews. I didn't need to be drunk to enjoy it.
All right, D-Lo.
I haven't watched anything on TV lately.
So
I haven't had time to watch TV.
Have you been at home? Have you been doing quilting? Have you been doing like I see that?
No, actually, I work out in the community, and with the pandemic, we've been supplying families with care packages and giving them hot meals on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I got a 9-year-old, and I'm a teacher, and we've been doing Zoom, and my school graduated on Saturday. I haven't had time to watch TV.
All right,
So
check
she's
this out.
it's 0 brews.
Check this out, Miss Smith. So I do very similar things to you, and so I had a day where me and my man we delivered food to people that wanted to deliver, but then we also opened up a time where you can come and pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Grab and go.
We had 3 families in 4.5 hours.
Wow. Okay.
So I give it 0 brews. Well, you know what? I give them a case because I really should have probably got me a buzz while I was sitting there waiting on them to get there.
I hate waiting on people.
You know what I'm saying? I should have went and got me a buzz and had a good conversation with the guys that I had because I get people to come and they volunteer and they help. You know, they help us in the whole thing and
yeah, but we fed 125 people today. I don't know how many families that was, because some families come and get like 5 platters. It's like a grab and go. We fix the food and we send it out the door. They don't come in or anything. But when I came in, I got right on. So I haven't really had time to watch TV or anything like that. Plus, I had my daughters home from school, and I got a 9-year-old and I got a 20-year-old, and they fighting for the TV. I don't have time.
I understand.
Yeah, but
Just a moment. You have a brew and review you can give us.
And the what's the best review you can give? Is a 1?
So
A 0.
like
A 0.
if you really like it, it's 0 or 1. If it was horrible,
well, I give a 0 brew to Dave Chappelle's 846. That to me was absolutely amazing. It was dope. It wasn't funny, but it brought he actually told a story that was serious, and it was emotion involved in it, and you laughed in the sense of like, you know, like, wow, this is really true. Like, this is really, and as he broke down the whole story, you know, I kind of forgot about the situation with the dude in LA where he actually left the letter where he literally, you know, and I remember it when it happened, when he was talking about it, when he started taking those cops out, and he had basically was upset. He had got fired from the LA Police Department because he actually went out of his way to actually tell on a female police officer who was doing something inappropriate. He got fired and never got his job back. He reapplied. So he did everything right by the system, everything you're supposed to do. And then when he realized how bad the system was, he basically took things in his own hands and literally started killing people, even killed one of the police officers' daughters, you know, which again is sad, but it spoke volumes to where we really are in this society and how the systems are in place. And this guy was one person. We're talking about thousands of people that's really up in arms right now. We don't want to get to that point. So to speak on that and the way he did it, it was dope to me. That was like a 0.
Yeah, for sure, man. And man, yeah, for sure. I saw that too, and yeah, you were absolutely right. And no, that was a real good one. So we appreciate you, man. 0 brews. I tell you what, D-Lo, you got a quick one?
Go ahead and pass on me, man. I had one, but I don't keep up with movies well enough to always remember titles, and I cannot find this particular title of a documentary I watched recently, so I will postpone mine until next week.
All right. Run, you got some?
Yes. So I recently got a new jumpsuit outfit. Okay, so I was on TikTok because what else is there to do during a pandemic? And I was scrolling through and I found this black designer and she was so stinking cute in her outfits. I was like, I gotta check this girl out. So it's Kin by Christine, K-I-N by Christine with a K. And she makes plus size clothes. Love it. So I ordered this jumpsuit. It's amazing. It's stretchy. It has pockets. It's capris. It's short sleeves. 0 bruise. I'm going to wear it once a week when I go back to work, if I ever go back to work.
All right.
It's amazing.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Hey, folks, man, it's a Heaviest Radio Show. Man, you guys have been absolutely amazing. And I want to give a quick shout out to everyone that joined us. At some point, there was about 20 of us that were on here. There were dads, there were Black Panthers, there were moms and uncles and and aunties and grandparents that lost their children. We had an amazing show tonight, and I don't want to downgrade it by saying that holy cow, like we can never do this again, because guess what? I will invite all these people back again, right? And then, and you know what? And there is some funny that happens, and there is some levity, because that's what we do. And that's what our fans expect us to do. But I think that our fans have enjoyed the product that we've put out to them now, man, with the Black Panther Party and the parents and the people and the educators now with Ms. Smith. And the CEOs with Dwayne Moment, and the DJs and the teachers and everybody. So, man, Heaviest Radio Show, man. This is Moose, aka Big House. Let me see. I didn't pay for any of these shirts, right? And I am freshly showered, by the way. Like, man, I am smelling. As a matter of fact, I got some oil that I ordered, right? And it's like dragon's blood and nang chopra. Maybe you guys know that. I mix those together, and I smell amazing. I do.
You smell like dragon blood?
It's a mix, though. Like Kim Smith, if you smell it, you'd be like, who is that brother right there? Like,
okay.
It smells amazing. Like, no, it's like that.
That's a result of him watching Naked and Not Afraid and a cooking show too close together.
I think it's one of those things. One of those things where you be like, man, he smells really good. Like, you know what, Kim Smith, like, if you smell me today, I will be your Brews and Reviews next week. You'd be like, you know what, I was at this pizza place, and this guy was ordering a gluten-free pizza, and holy cow, he smells so good, I give him 0 brews.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it goes. That's how good I smell.
Okay.
And the others, and then guess what? If I'm not smelling like that, you know what I smell like? It's called Barack Obama.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I you know what? I can't lose, folks. I can't lose.
You trying to convince me, huh?
I can't lose on how I smell. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll figure out how I can send it to you. I can put a couple of drops.
Put it on a piece of paper and put it in an envelope.
Yeah,
like back in the day,
send it to you like snail mail. Sorry, big sis.
Like, listen, dragon blood. Okay.
I've hung with you all night to get insulted at the end. I'm going to bed.
Hey, we got number love for you.
We deliver, we deliver.
Hey, folks, Heaviest Radio Show. Remember, we are where you are.
Get comfortable.
Come on in.
We're not saying the rest
There it was.
Hey, folks. Hey, Kim Smith, thank you for joining us and staying with us the whole time. We appreciate you and invite you back anytime you want. Dwayne.
Thank you. I enjoyed the conversation.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. Dwayne, we invite you back anytime. Man,
I appreciate it, brother.
I'm so sad that I'm not able to do the cam, but I just don't feel like I can keep them kids safe, man. And so, you know, if I can figure
No,
out,
brother, you making the right decisions. Whatever you're a leader, man. So whenever you make a decision, it's the right one, you know. But when you do decide to open up, we'll be back. Remember, my wife always tell you, hold us our spots.
That's right. That's right. You always got spots, man. You always got spots. Hey, man. So we appreciate you, the big sis, man. Well, I'm glad you're here. D-Lo, obviously, man. You know, part of the squad, man, for sure. Run EMC, man. You know, we appreciate you. And this is Music Big House, man. We out. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. You know what? Let's make it better for everyone.
Exactly.
Let's make it better for all of us. Heaviest Radio Show. I tell you what, guys, if you want to stay on the Zoom, you can, but our show is gonna be over. I gotta stop that. Hey, Heaviest Radio Show, man. Smooth Say Big House. We out. Oh, there we go. All right. So our radio show is over with, guys. So we're not promoting that anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stop the. Y'all laughing at me for.